So I write down the lyrics for Beautiful Soul on a piece of paper.
Gotcha.
I go to school and I'm gonna give it to this girl, and I run into one of my friends, and she's like, "Let me see it," and I'm like, "Okay," and I show it to her, thinking I'm gonna like get like praise, right? Like, wow, these are great for a 10-year-old.
It's great.
She's like, "This is Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney." I was like, "Fuck!" And I just took the paper.
It's really not, all right?
I got so immediately upset. I just took the paper, turned around. I gave up on the whole plan.
That
was
ruins
it.
your whole day. They see me walking, Christopher walking.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Oh, you want a beverage?
I will bev the ridge.
Bev the Ridge?
I'll bev the ridge.
We're beving ridges.
We're beving ridges. Ridges will be bevved today. I had a...
Right, close your eyes.
Okay.
And then once I put the drink in your hand, you have to guess what drink it is before you open your eyes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, now what drink is it?
Is it the Cayman Jacks?
Possibly is.
Possibly is.
What flavor?
I imagine it's the Mongol one.
Congratulations, sir. You are correct.
Yeah.
But what is going on,
The
everybody?
guy knows me.
You know what it is. We're back. And if
Hey.
this is your first time tuning in, welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We
That
said
was
at the start. Welcome, everybody. This is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV. If you're like, what the
Just a little
fuck
bit.
does that even mean?
What do you-
It's self-explanatory. If
Yeah.
you can't break that down yourself, if you can't use context clues to be like, too high for TV.
Yeah.
They're probably talking about TV.
Yeah.
Someone's probably getting too high.
Yep.
And that's what's going on.
Yeah. And then we talk a lot.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of this show.
I would agree 100%. I think that's 1000% accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? My name is Ryan,
My name's Daniel.
and we are your co-hosts for this podcast.
It's cool.
It's
really
cool. I think it's cool.
If this is your first time, let me tell you something. You've stumbled upon something
You
great.
stumbled upon something
Something
freaking fantastic.
Absolutely out of this world.
And those are beverages. If
not watching the footage.
If you're wondering, it's up. No.
It sounded like for a second on the if, it sounded like you were scratching a record. I used to know. Here, let's cheers these really quick. Cheers. Clink.
Cheers.
Some ASMR. Very good. I used to know this dude, Trevor. He used to play. We were really good friends in high school, and he was a musician like myself. He used to play the drums, but he could do the. I don't know how to do it, so it's not going to sound good. But he would like use this part right here with this, and he could like, and it would make the fucking sound
That's
perfectly. It was crazy. It would trip me out.
I like that. Have you ever used like a Serato DJ or anything like that?
No, that's the one that comes with the controllers and stuff, right? The software that comes with the controllers? Or-
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can
Yeah.
get it with a controller, but you can just get the software.
Oh,
like,
okay,
itself
on its
if you
own?
want.
I have
Yeah.
not, no.
And it's pretty cool because you freaking, if you like slow down a song, it'll do the, slow down
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It'll give you like the record sound. Yeah, that's cool.
And then they also have Serato Sample, which is in the same family of plugins, which is basically a sampler. So you take your samples. Oh, I like this song. I want to sample this song. You take it, you drop it into Serato Sample, and then when you take it and like scroll through it, it does like the.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
shit like
yeah.
that,
Cool.
which is-
I like it.
I like little things like
No,
that. I'm a very like aesthetic person.
Yeah.
That is the thing that like in modern music like that's made on your laptop, that is one of those things that's kind of like lost, is like doing shit like sampling from like an actual sampler where you put the record on there and you record it and stuff like that. It's definitely a lost art,
Yeah. I saw this. It's so funny that I fucking can't remember who it was. It was some scientist. It was either like a Neil deGrasse Tyson or a Bill Nye the Science
yeah,
Guy.
I was gonna say Bill Nye.
Yeah, okay, and
I don't know if it was Bill Nye.
It might have been. It was one of them. But somebody asks where the handle on a maple syrup bottle comes from. You know, the little like hook
Oh yeah.
that's on the top. People are like, why is that there? What the fuck is it for? Apparently, maple syrup jars back in the day were bigger So they had the hook there for you to be able to hold it and pour your maple syrup. And he calls it something specific, and I can't remember what it is, but there's something that we do as humans that even when some of our stuff advances or things, we like to keep and hang on to these certain like tactile things about stuff. Another like example that he gives is phone cameras. Phone cameras have no shutter, but when you take a picture on your phone, it still goes and it makes the shutter sound because it's so familiar to us and how a camera works. And I would put that in the same category. I could be wrong, but
no, I would.
You're using a digital record basically. So when you go to slow it down and speed it up, it still has that fucking effect to it. Yeah. But yeah, there's certain things that we like to hold on to that, like, because these are like what's the word? These things are like, I don't want to say artifacts, but they're like a record or like a maple syrup bottle or a camera. These are like things that like take on a life of their own and like have their own like characteristics and qualities that just exist afterwards, like outside of us, and like we can't let go of some of those things. It's crazy. Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was cool. Scientists are cool, man. They know explanations for things that I didn't think even like needed explanations.
Like, yeah, that's true.
Like I would have just thought to myself like, yeah, I like that sound. I think it's cool. Or like, yeah, I think this is cool.
Sound.
They're like, actually, it's a human phenomenon that we do. Blah, 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 blah.
It's a human phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon that's going on around the United States of America.
The United States of America.
World champions of what? The United States? It was like this interview. I forget what the dude was talking about. But he was talking about how, like, you know, like, when you win an NBA championship, right? They call you the world champions.
Oh, yeah.
And this dude's like, the world champions of what?
Yeah.
The United States?
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb, dude.
I think, to be fair, isn't the
Makes
NBA
sense.
is the premier league of basketball in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's other, I don't want to come across as ignorant here, so correct me if I'm wrong, please, if there's anybody out there who is watching. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where you go. You work like people
but you're not like playing like teams across the world. You're just playing
That's
teams
true.
within the continental United States.
No, that's fair. You're not. Yeah, I just was under the assumption.
Granted, you are playing the Toronto Raptors, so I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess like that gives you a pass.
Well, you're still only you're continental champions at that point, because we still share the same land space.
Still in North America.
Yeah. It's not worldwide.
But it's a foreign country.
Sure. Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
it's a different land.
It is. Yeah. I just was under because I have heard that term a lot too, and I was always just under the assumption that like if you want to play with the best, you end up going to the NBA, because like that's where a lot of foreign players end up coming to as well. Yeah, right. Like instead of playing in their league over there,
I mean, there's just also like just more money. There's just more money.
There's
no
stage either for that kind of sports over there too. So fair.
Yeah, I was watching like an interview with this former NBA player, and he says he like played overseas, and he's like sometimes like. You don't get your checks, like you don't get your game checks like right away, because they're just like, hey, we just don't have the money, bro. Or like maybe some other shit's going on,
sure,
but the money is definitely over here. Because there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'll fucking pay you some money. I'll fucking pay you some money.
You make a lot of money playing sports.
But yeah, guys, in this country. We are back, episode 70. We're breaking through. You know, we keep chipping away. Soon we're going to be at episode 100. It's going to be a great day.
It is. It's going to be very exciting.
It's going to be a fantastic
We definitely, we've done a lot of themed episodes on our like big milestones for sure. I think we for sure need to plan something.
Just watch 100 movies.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Yeah. No, but we need to flip the script on the podcast itself.
I'm down.
For episode 100.
I love that.
That's where some change needs to occur.
I love flipping the script.
Yeah.
I love the phrase. I love the phrase "flip the script" because I loved watching 8 Mile when I was a young lad.
Oh yeah.
And at one part, the homie's like, "Gotta flip the script on these motherfuckers." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's such a good line. God, I love that." You just write that one down, and you're like, "I'm just gonna keep this in my back pocket."
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just hang on to it.
And here we are, flipping scripts.
Random. Okay. This popped into my head right now for some reason, and I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast before, but I'm gonna tell a random funny story about me being a awestruck, lovey-dovey kid.
I'm down. Let's do it.
When I was a baby boy in probably like elementary school still.
When I was a baby boy.
When I was just a baby boy. Now, back in elementary school, had this girl that I liked, but she didn't like me too. So back in elementary school, I had a crush on this girl, as you do, as an elementary school boy. And I think at this point I had like started to play guitar and everything like that. So I fancied myself, a musician. My friends knew that I played guitar in school and stuff like that. So like,
wow, Daniel plays the guitar.
People knew that I could do it.
Daniel, he plays the guitar.
Yeah, I was still nerdy at the same time still too. That didn't make me very cool right away. It also like you didn't have to be cool at my schools because they were so small. Everybody knew each other anyway. But the bright idea that came to me one day was, I was like, wow, you know what will really get a girl to like you? Write her a song. Easy, right?
Yeah.
But
it's a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. They literally have a song about love called Tale as Old as Time. It's a Disney movie, I'm pretty sure. But it's Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But anyway, I could not write a song at little 8, 9, 10-year-old me, whatever age I was. So I was like, what's a good love song out right now? This will give it a time frame where I was like, it's a bitchin' jam. Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney. And I was like,
yeah, that's still a banger though.
Okay, but here's where the dumb little like kid mind comes in. I'm like, no, I'm the only one who listens to this song. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. So
nobody knows Jesse McCartney.
Nobody knows. I know he's on the Disney Channel and the Nickelodeon all the time,
but no one knows
Nobody knows that. No. So I write down the lyrics for Beautiful Soul on a piece of paper. Gotcha. I go to school and I'm gonna give it to this girl, and I run into one of my friends, and she's like, "Let me see it," and I'm like, "Okay," and I show it to her, thinking I'm gonna like get like praise, right? Like, wow, these are great for a 10-year-old.
It's great.
She's like, "This is Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney." I was like, fuck, and I just took the paper.
It's really not, all right?
I got so immediately upset, I just took the paper, turned around. I gave up on the whole plan.
That ruins your whole day. That ruins your whole day.
So stupid, though. Like dumb little me thinking, like, nobody knows this song. I know I heard it from, like, the most popular, like, channel that kids our age probably watch, but nobody knows this song.
Yeah. Is that the one that he performed on, like, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, it was... That's the one I know him for most.
I don't want another pretty face.
I don't want just anyone to hold.
Dude, that's a great fucking song.
It is a really good song. If I actually did write it, man, that
you should have just sang the song. You should be like, hey, this is Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney. Because you know what? I think you have a beautiful soul.
I did learn later because the same thing happened when I was like in middle school probably, but with the Biebs. And I just learned to play the Biebs songs.
Yeah.
And that was it.
There you go.
You're good to go.
Yeah. That's fire.
It was funny. It was a good time.
I don't want another pretty. Would you have done it like that? Like, would you have made your voice like that?
Like just probably back then, probably yeah.
I don't want another pretty face.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like when you're a kid, you sing songs how you hear them. Like you don't like think just like sing them in your own voice. Like you try to emulate what you hear on the radio. That's what it was for me. I just remember like that's probably where I listened to music the most as a kid in that time was just car rides home.
Oh yeah,
after school, just listening to K-Don. Just that was all that was on all the time.
I used to always like listen to the songs and like stare out the window and pretend I was in like a music video.
100%. I was literally just having a conversation with my mom and my sister about that because like we were all in the car. Like maybe this was like a month ago. We're all in the car together. Like the old days, there's just 3 of us. There's my mom and my sister, and then I was in the back. And I was like, wow, I was such like I pretended to be such a sad boy. Like just put my headphones in. I was like probably listening to Linkin Park or something, and it was like raining, and I was just like this. Yeah. It starts with one thing. Don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I'm designed this route to explain it 2 times, but all I know.
We should just be a cover band.
Honestly, a podcast cover band.
We don't tour anything. We just do covers on our podcast.
Just from the podcast and from the comfort of our couch.
No instrumentals or anything. Like it's just a cappella. Like we just sing.
Okay, honestly, if this is as good of an idea as I think it is, then for the viewers at home, this part might be cut out. But you might be able to do a show, I would say like YouTube, where like you just sit in your room and you karaoke.
Oh yeah, for
and you
sure.
just live stream and hang out.
For sure. I'm pretty sure during like COVID, I think SZA did like a bedroom like concert type thing.
Yeah, you just chill. That's so easy. People would definitely tune in.
A lot of people were, dude, Tory Lanez was popping during like quarantine because he was doing like his quarantine radio where he would like go on Instagram live. Quarantine. Oh,
that's cool.
He would do that, but the big appeal is he got a lot of beautiful women with very voluptuous bodies.
Oh, on the stream?
To shake their ass.
Okay, yeah.
And it was great.
So of course,
of course
you're gonna
tune in. It was a twerking contest during COVID. Like,
wow, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Like, what else could pique people's interest while being at home, other than watching Megan Thee Stallion twerk?
People are thirsty enough, especially on the internet as it is. If you lock people up in their homes for quarantine, that's guaranteed views right there. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I was. I mean, I found nerd stuff like or whatever, but yeah, social media. I don't follow people on social media, or not big people. I follow like you and like all of our friends and stuff like that. But yeah, no, like I don't know. There's a few exceptions. Like I think I have like Mark Hamill on there.
Oh yeah,
because he's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, of course.
And like I think actually I just recently followed Kyle Gass because I really liked his Instagram. But there's a few, but like I think it's probably under like 10 or 15 or something like that.
Dude, you gotta follow DJ Khaled.
Really?
He's just funny. He's just, like he is the like he just does anything and people gravitate towards it because it's fucking stupid and hilarious.
Yeah,
like he's been golfing recently. If you haven't seen his golf like posts and shit like that, I mean it's hard to not see them. But like he had one day where he literally just went out and he would hit a shot and then he would look at the camera and go, Gatorade. And like he was wearing, it was like an orange Gatorade. He had like a black shirt, but it had like, he had like orange shorts and like orange accents everywhere. And I was like, fuck, dude, I just want an orange fucking Gatorade now. Dude, he is a marketing fucking genius because he just understands that people find him just hilarious.
Yeah, no,
right?
He can say anything.
He could just like, tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great one. And I just
is that another one of his?
Yeah, he's like with his family and they're eating like a bunch of like seafood and stuff like that. And he fucking they bring out like this like the fish bone or whatever and it's like the whole like skeleton or whatever.
Okay.
He's like, how about a comb? And he like pretends to like comb his hair. And they're like, no, stop. And he's like, tell him to bring out the whole ocean. Like it's just dumb. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying to me?
I feel like he just knows how to.
He knows how to work the internet.
Yeah, he knows how to set up the next goof or like the next like phrase or whatever easily because he just has that power. Like people just want to say what he says.
He's just a walking meme, and it's fucking hilarious.
I really honestly do feel because some of the stuff that I've heard is pretty ridiculous, and like I don't imagine this is like every single time, but I feel like from time to time he's just pushed it and been like, what's the most ridiculous thing I could say? Because I do imagine that some of them, a good chunk of them even maybe, are like somewhat crafted. Like he knows what he's going to say.
Yeah, I think he probably sits there and is like, all right, what can I fucking say?
Yeah, this would be funny, that or that, or whatever.
But like he has one where he wears like a green like sweatsuit or like a jumpsuit or whatever.
Yeah.
And he walks out and he's just like, call me asparagus.
Call me asparagus. See, like that. I can imagine that. Him just being like, fuck it. I don't know. We need one for today. Let's do this.
Like, it's just fucking
Call me asparagus.
But yeah, that dude's just, if I could have like the internet prowess of that man,
yeah,
I would love it, dude.
You'd have hits for days.
Oh my God.
You just have to breathe. You just start recording and you're probably good to go.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
The whole ocean, eh?
Or like there was one year when he was dropping an album and Drake was going to be on his album and he kept on going, are the Drake vocals in yet? Like he would just like get random people on his fucking Instagram page and be like his wife, hey babe, are the Drake vocals in yet? And he would like scream and she'd be like, shut the fuck up, dude. But like he pushes it sometimes like that. Like there was one time where his wife was like training and she's like fucking like kickboxing, blah blah, doing that like that, and he's like right next to her and he's like, come on, you got this, a little bit more, and she's like, Khaled, do you ever just shut the fuck up? Like I'm just trying to do this, like Jesus, like just shut the fuck up. And he's like, whoa,
okay. Yeah.
You could tell he was like, all right,
relax. Yeah, I could see it. I could imagine though. Yeah, that, especially because of how many there are, like the sheer volume. God, that poor woman probably is tired of it after a certain extent.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean. And you got to do like the face,
the lip
like,
a little bit. Yeah.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
The whole ocean.
Like you got to say it like through like the side of your mouth.
Yeah,
like it's not with your whole mouth. It's like tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
The whole ocean.
Yeah, I've said this too much already.
That's what the episode's gonna be called now.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
Tell him that you got to sneak. I would like to hear at least 3 more.
Three more. Oh, dude, I could give you like 6 more.
Right, they gotta sneak them though. You gotta sneak them.
Yeah.
You gotta sneak them. I want to hear them.
Let's really get into the episode because I think we got a lot to talk about today. We got the 2 movies, but there was also a few other things that came out.
I finally
saw
stuff.
fucking Ninja Turtles.
I did.
So tell me, what did you think about the newest installment to the Ninja Turtle universe franchise of movies? What did you think? Animated by Seth Rogen. We got a lot of fucking A-list actors in there.
Big time. Holy shit. The cast
John
is crazy.
Cena,
Yep.
Ice Cube,
Yep.
Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd.
Yep.
We got Ayo Edebri. I can't fucking pronounce her last name.
Edebiri?
Nah. It's easier than that. Sometimes you look at it and you like...
And you make it more complicated.
You make it more complicated.
Yeah.
But she plays April O'Neil.
Yeah, she's It's
Maya
absolutely
Rudolph?
fantastic. Oh yeah, she was the scientist, right? The evil scientist. You don't really see much of her, but I thought it was fucking absolutely fantastic. If you have not seen the Ninja Turtles yet, don't sleep on it like I did. Definitely go watch it.
Are you pissed off that you slept on it for so long?
No, not really. Because it's not. I'm grateful because for whatever reason, no Ninja Turtle stuff was circulating in my algorithm. So I went into the movie blind. The last thing I saw was like the trailer that got released like a month or 2 ago. So thankfully nothing at all leaked for me or anything. So it was an easy experience to wait. Sometimes that's not the case, right? Like if it's a super big movie, like I think even Oppenheimer was like leaking shit before the movie came out and stuff. So like if release expectations are high, you got to be careful on the internet. But this was good, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the movie was pretty fucking top notch. Like I would say this is like a Spider-Verse equivalent to the Ninja Turtles universe pretty easily because like for one, you get a really, really good character building with the Ninja Turtles. I love the new rendition of them. They are like modernized in a way that feels authentic.
Yeah.
I wish that we could have got this kind of energy into Blue Beetle because that's the same vibe that they were going for, I think, of like that kind of finger on the pulse kid that like knows all these phrases and stuff that we're talking about or whatever. I probably sound like a fucking old man saying that shit, but whatever. The kid's got his finger on the pulse. He knows what's going on.
Hey, Jimmy, you got your finger on the pulse. Yeah, that's why we got you here at the Daily Planet.
Yeah. But anyway, fucking I love the new character like style of them. I think they're great. I like all of their like modern like things or whatever. I think that the world building is also super good in the movie. Like the world building again in characters, because you get, for me, the most meaningful connection I've ever seen between the Turtles and Splinter. Like it's not like bad or anything. I'm not saying like previous renditions of the Ninja Turtles are like terrible or anything like that in terms of this aspect, but this is like way beyond anything I've ever seen, where I actually really feel like Splinter is their dad, not just like some rat dude who like raised them to be ninjas.
It's more than, the ooze fell on you.
Yeah.
And I saw that you had power, so now I became your sensei and I trained you. It's like, hey, I'm your fucking dad. I saw you were these kids. And
And what's great too is that like I don't know if anybody was coming after Splinter, but it's kind of hardcore to find like radiated. I mean, granted, he's a radiated animal himself, so it's not his fault fully. But he takes 4 infant turtles and just turns them into kung fu machines, from what we understand in the other stuff, right? This is better because you have that they grow up, they loved the human world and like wouldn't want to go out there, or Splinter wouldn't let him go out there, right? And then one day he caves and he tries to take him out on like a little field trip. Obviously it goes south and they get chased away. Fucking Mikey almost like gets run over and shit. Super traumatic for Splinter. The turtles can't really remember it though, so it's fine. And then he trains them in like for self-defense. He's like, if these fucking humans ever come after us, you need to be able to like defend yourself. So I like that a lot better. Like there's just so many little things that feel so obvious now, like after having seen it, of like these little threads in all of the world, I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, why wasn't this shit here before? What the fuck? This makes so much more sense. I love it. It's great. But the voice acting is awesome. The music is really good. The only gripe I have with it, I will say, is I think that the ending does like too much of like a double whammy for me. There's like the whole scene where they go to take on Superfly, and then all of the rest of the mutants like side with the turtles, and they like knock him out, knock him into the ocean, and then he comes back as like the super giant Superfly,
super big fly.
Oh, super duper fly. He calls himself Super Duper Fly. Yeah. And then, I mean, I liked both sequences individually. I just thought it was a lot to have them back to back.
Yeah, it's like you go to one and you think the movie is starting to end, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we got to pick it back up.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help that they have the same revelations too. Like both times, they're like, oh, we need to work together and not care about what people think about us. And I was like, okay, this is for the kids. Like this is the part that's for the little ones.
Well, I think the second sequence when he turns into Super Duper Fly it's more so like the community helping the turtles out.
That's true. That's a good point,
like the first one is very much like
the
mutants coming together and being like, hey, this fool's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So let's help these turtles out. Hey, hey, we're from New York. Let's help the turtles out. Hey, you know,
100%.
And then the second part is more the humans realize like, hey, these fools, they're not cool. They're not bad.
No, they're trying to help us out. Yeah.
Exactly.
That guy's very obviously bad. Yeah, I really dug the.
That's a bad guy.
That guy's Godzilla. Yeah, I heard I very much got the end of Spider-Man 1 vibes.
Oh yeah,
you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Fucking, that's like immediately what I thought of as soon as they started coming out. I was like, fuck yeah, they did the Spider-Man, bro. I'm sure that's from like another movie somewhere else before, but that's what I remember it from. But yeah, it was super, super good. Again, aside from that like teensy gripe, it doesn't even really like hurt the movie that much in my opinion. It's pretty fucking phenomenal. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's only an hour and 40 something, like, and very, very effective. It feels much longer than an hour 40. So, yeah, the art style, supreme.
So good.
I really, really like it.
I love the beginning when they look all mad and it's like the callback to like the original comics
like the
and
white
shit.
Eyes and shit still. Yeah, that
awesome.
looks cool, dude. Yeah, I'm happy that there is room to grow into the Spider-Verse style. I apologize for not knowing what like the actual name of that animation style is. I'm pretty sure there is one. I don't know what it is. I just call it Spider-Verse style. But I'm happy to see that there's like room to explore within that style of animation, because I was a little bit not worried, because like I would have been more than happy if it looked exactly like Spider-Verse, if they just did the exact same animation style but it was Ninja Turtles. But
it's way different.
No, it is. It's vastly different, and it really comes down to like style. Like I've been saying style, but like there's an animation type that's at play here, which is very much part of the same family, I think.
But then the style, like the overall, like
just aesthetic of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, it's beautiful. It looks
so cool. I watched this video, and the people who animated, like the creators, said they really wanted to go for like a feeling like a teenager was like drawing it. Yeah. So like something that was like something that felt really good, like when you're like, oh my god, like this is like a great fucking but it's still like rough around the edges where there's room to clean it up here and there.
It very much reminded me of like when you see super talented and like long-standing comic book artists, they'll every once in a while, those are other people that I follow on Instagram actually, sometimes it's comic book artists, but they every once in a while you'll see them post shit from when they were kids or teenagers or something or other, and that's very much what it reminded me of. Is it's like you could see this person growing up to make like some of the most beautiful images you've ever seen in your life or whatever. But yeah, it's just cool. Like the lights when they flash, they have like a really like messy but like intentionally messy vibe, right? Like you can see the spots that are trying to create the light, and like things like they're not trying to hide anything. Like it's just very much direct, like this is the comic book or this is the art style or whatever. It's very cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, good ass movie. I like the tease at the end for Shredder and
yeah, I can't wait.
It was like perfect because it's such like, I think in Ninja Turtles you're so used to like the first iteration of whatever movie series is like, oh, they're gonna fight Shredder.
Yeah,
and it's like a nice change of pace of like, okay, let's explore the characters of the Ninja Turtles a little bit while they're growing up before they got to be ultimate fucking ninjas and fight Shredder.
It feels very much like they have Batman Begins to Dark Knight situation on their hands.
Like if they would have fought Shredder this movie, they would have got fucked up.
100%. Yeah, like
they would have died.
No, for sure. I mean, like they wouldn't have, but it would have felt cheap.
Yeah.
Because it definitely would have seemed like plot armor.
Yeah.
Like if they survived a fight with Shredder right now. But no, 100% I agree. Like what I would really like to see is in the next one a time skip of like at least a year, maybe even 2. Like I'm cool if they put them in their senior year and they're like older. So because the kids will obviously grow up. So like the actual real life kids will grow up. So like regardless of whether how their voice changes or doesn't, they'll be older, right? And it also lets you go a little bit darker. Yeah. Like I don't need dark. It doesn't have to be fucking Last Ronin or anything like that. But if it steps it up
just a little bit more mature, a little bit more serious,
make it more intense. Like raise the stakes too. I thought the stakes were good in this movie. I did fear for the turtles at times. I feared for like Splinter at times. Like the lives felt like they were on the line. So like they did a good job of that. But I want to feel that even more, especially if Shredder comes into the picture.
Oh,
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, and really get the whole like Foot Clan into this, because like
definitely.
Again, that was like those were things that were like missing from this Ninja Turtles, but I didn't really care that they were missing because this movie was so good and the story was so good. You know, the characters were written really well. Yeah. They were explored nicely. Like you really got the motivations from each characters and stuff like that. So it was great.
Yeah. No, it's like the world feels more Ninja Turtles than in a very long time. Without having a lot of these like staple Ninja Turtle things. Yeah. Which is trippy. It's cool. I like it. I'm like, oh, they got something good here. Like I'm pretty excited for the future of the franchise for sure.
Fuck yeah. But hell yeah, guys. Go check out Ninja Turtles if you have not checked out Ninja Turtles. And if you haven't, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you should go. You should go watch it.
What the fuck are you doing?
Go watch it, bro.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's really good.
It's really fucking good.
It's really good.
And support that shit, you know? Support it. We're all about support here.
Go to the theater, spend money, and watch a movie. Did you hear about like National Theater Day?
Yeah, or something yesterday? I don't know how I felt about that.
Tickets were only $4.
Like, I like it, but my thought was like, where's this, like, is this a cash grab from the studios being like, holy shit, the writers are on strike?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Like, hey, let's discount all the tickets. You guys can make them $4, and you know, bring a, you know, because when you hear $4, like it's like, why not go fucking watch a movie? You know,
might as well. Yeah,
I think a lot of the things that keep people from the movies nowadays is how expensive a ticket is.
That's true.
Like that's pretty nuts when you got to spend like $12 for a fucking ticket.
I mean, no, I 100% agree because the ticket prices are out of control, especially once you start to get into like special screenings, and then like a Dolby if you want really good sound, or an IMAX if you want like massive picture, ends up being like $17, $16, $19, something around there. But I mean, like I see where it's coming from that, but like I would see that as a good thing, right?
No, yeah.
Then the studios are gonna be like not raking in massive profits, but people are going to be going to the theater more. So like theaters will become more booming.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then that's like, but if there's less money going into the studio, then that also technically means that's less money going into all of the people involved's pockets, not just the studio heads, but also, you know, artists. And
it was just a thing where I was sitting there like,
yeah, what's the
like
angle here?
what's the catch here? There's a catch to everything. Like
I'm interested.
Unfortunately, there always is.
I'm wondering if maybe it, because I feel like this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this last year.
I am also very out of touch with multiple very popular avenues of life. So if I miss this, that's not surprising to me. I would be interested to see if it is a regular thing. Because if it is regular, I don't think it's like too insidious. If it did just happen this year, right now, during this time, I think that's a little bit suspicious. You could at least look at it.
I feel like this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's find out really quick. I'm going to look up National Movie Day. Or was it like National Theater Day, right?
Yeah, something like that. But I was just like I said, what's the angle here? Because that's studios make their monies from the box office, selling the tickets like that. Yeah. You know? So if all of a sudden there's just a nationwide, hey, we're going to make all the tickets fucking $4, there's got to be some sort of
something happening.
Some, you know, people are talking and there's some collusion going. No, I'm just kidding. But but there's like
catch you, goddammit.
Yeah, but there's some like, you know, there's something going on behind the scenes where people are like, hey, let's just cut the prices to these tickets so we can get people, you know, like you said, like it's a good thing because tickets are cheaper. It gets people into the theaters. Like, you know, that's an important thing. You got to keep theaters alive. That's like the last form of like real physical type shit where people can go out and go do, like, CDs really aren't like super crazy of like a thing anymore.
Oh,
Like
no,
you have all that
definitely
shit on your fucking phone.
Yeah.
You know, not even like even buying DVDs isn't really like a crazy thing anymore. Like because you have all these streaming platforms.
Although weirdly enough, you totally do still see them in stores all the time. So somebody's out there buying physical copies still.
Dude, I was at Best Buy and I saw like the little stand they had for all the cheap movies or whatever, and it was pretty bare. And I was like, damn, shout out to all you people
hitting
fucking
it, yeah.
buy 'em. But yeah, I was like, I saw the free movie, the $4 movie day, and I was like, all right, what the fuck is going on here? What's going on?
I have not done obviously more than the last 30-40 seconds of research on it, but apparently something called the Cinema Foundation, I don't know how legit or not they are, does do this.
Okay.
Every year. Last year it was even cheaper. Last year it was $3 a ticket.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, freaking, what do they call them? Fucking cinema what?
The Cinema Foundation.
All right, Cinema Foundation. Why
Yeah.
did we raise the price this year? That's what I want to fucking know.
I would imagine that's probably because the price of actual tickets also went up.
Inflation.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. Yeah, but this
Fight inflation. Keep it at $3.
Keep it at $3. According to that one that I just read, again, super quick, the average ticket price right now is $10.53. So yeah,
That's pretty nuts.
$10
dude.
to $11. Yeah,
It's pretty fucking nuts. I went when I was in Hawaii. The theater that I went to, again, super fucking nice. Tickets were $16. Like a regular ticket was like $16.50.
That's hella
I was
expensive.
tripping.
That's crazy.
If it wasn't like vacation, I would have been like, all right, I don't want to go.
Yeah,
here.
no. Here in California, or at least in our area of California, that probably changes if you go to like a bigger city. That's probably like an IMAX ticket.
Yeah,
That's about what we spend for.
Yeah, I think IMAX was like $20.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm thinking Dolby then.
Well, yeah, it was a Dolby Atmos theater.
Okay. Oh, maybe that's what it was too then. Yeah, because those are also hike the price up because you get like the nice sound and it's like all this like super special surround sound speakers and stuff.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like the experience was fucking great.
Awesome. Yeah.
But initially, when you're like, oh damn, I gotta spend $16.50.
It's a lot,
just to watch a movie. That's
Well,
that's a lot.
that's
I might as well just buy a movie.
yeah, no, because you're gonna spend as much, if not maybe a little less, depending on what movie you're trying to get. Yeah, that's because that's also like as much as like your concessions probably cost too, right there.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's easily $40, just like that.
And the concessions is how the theaters actually make like their money.
Yeah.
It's like, that shit's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, and then it's like if your ticket prices are super high, people won't want to spend as much on there. So, really, where's the winning battle, right? Like, you got to get people to buy fucking popcorn if you want to keep movie theaters alive. Really,
I'm just not a big popcorn guy.
I love popcorn. I fuck with popcorn big.
I think that's the weakest movie theater snack, if I'm being honest.
Really.
Yeah.
It's for sure the most classic.
I mean, just because you're the most classic doesn't mean you're the best.
Not all the time.
But I think there's better snacks out there.
Okay.
But I'm also just like a sweets guy. Like I'm not like a savory, like
I love
buttery
salt.
popcorn.
Give me some
Like
buttery, salty popcorn.
Like I'm down for it. But I feel like every time I get a bag, I'm like, fuck, I gotta eat this whole bag of popcorn.
I feel like what's dangerous about I've always been a take your popcorn home and snack on it over the next few days kind of guy.
I'll do that, but it's just not the same because it is like a little bit more stale, and so it's not like I have this back and forth with popcorn.
Yeah.
I like it, but then I'm not like you probably never catch me at the movie theater eating fucking popcorn.
I've never seen it happen.
Like
in my
once
life.
in a blue moon, where you're just like, hey, you want some popcorn?
You have some out of my popcorn, but that's about.
But you'll
it.
ask me like 3 times, like, hey, you sure you don't want any
And you
popcorn?
don't
And then
ever,
I'm just like, fuck, fine.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I'm a fan of all stages of popcorn. To be perfectly honest with you, just because like I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but like at Christmas we would always have the tubs that had like the 3 different kinds of popcorn that would live in our house forever after Christmas.
See, I think that's different. That's a different type of popcorn.
No, it is, but what I'm saying is that like that and movie popcorn, I like all the stages that popcorn goes through. I'm down for popcorn when it's hot and crispy and crunchy right out the shit. I'm down for popcorn just after the movies when it's kind of like soaked up in all that butter and soggy, but it's kind of cold. And then I'm also down for popcorn the next few days after that where it's like in between. It gets a little bit of its crunch back, but not full. And it's still kind of like soggy with that butter and shit.
Maybe it's just because like I worked at a movie theater and I would always just like eat popcorn on breaks. But I was just like, I think I've just never always been like let's get a large popcorn,
Yeah, I mean, the only time I justify getting a large popcorn is if I'm with a party that we're going to split it with. Otherwise, I just get smalls because like usually it's just like me and Ev who are
Yeah,
sharing
I mean,
snacks,
I'm normally, even sometimes I'll get a small popcorn. I'm like, damn, this is a lot of fucking popcorn.
It
that
is.
I don't really want to eat.
That I will say is that if like just make popcorn a little bit cheaper and even reduce the portion sizes for it, like make it equal, you can sell a lot more popcorn. I bet you, because that shit is scary. When you look at a small popcorn and it's like this fucking big. Still,
well, granted,
dude.
they also like a lot of popcorn gets wasted. Like not all the popcorn that they pop is getting like I remember there was a lot of times where fucking Ev can attest to this too, because we both worked at the same movie theater. But like, there are times where you have like pretty much a whole popper full of fucking popcorn that you're just not gonna use.
Yeah,
you just toss it.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. How much of it falls on the floor all day? Like people who spill a whole thing of popcorn.
There is an art to like getting more popcorn in the fucking bag.
Oh yeah, I've seen that shit before. Yeah.
But yeah, to me, like popcorn is like mid-tier. Like, it's really like a mid-tier movie snack. Like, I'm more of like a candy, like the nerd,
sure,
like the nerd gummy clusters.
Yeah.
That's like S tier. That's for sure like number one.
I can agree with you. Only thing I would say to put it in like a slightly more positive connotation for myself is that I view popcorn as reliable. You can call it mid, true. It's average, does what it does.
Yeah, it's
but it
reliable.
Fucking does what it does every single time.
Popcorn's gonna be popcorn.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna change. Really.
And I will say this: I am also a sucker for some good candy. But sometimes, depending on what theater you go to, they ain't got no good fucking candy there.
Yeah,
they just have M&Ms and like Sour Patch Kids or something. And that's it.
See, but even Sour Patch Kids, to me, Sour Patch Kids is like an A, B tier.
Sour Patch is good. I prefer
that's a reliable to me. Like if they don't have gummy clusters, or if they don't have like the sour punch straws.
Those are good. I
but
like.
They got the Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. For sure. Mike and Ike's are low-key slept on too.
I like
you don't
Mike
see a
and
lot of
Ike's
Mike and Ike's anywhere.
They're not in theaters anymore though.
But you see Mike and Ike's? Oh, I'm gonna get me some Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's are good. I also really like the sweet tart ropes. I've seen those a lot in more stores or in more theaters. Those are really good.
See, I'm down for like the first like 3 bites of the first one.
Oh,
but then after that, it's just like, okay.
It is very intense because the whole outside is like the gummy bit, and then the inside is like the toothpaste texture of like sweetness or whatever. Yeah,
like it's hard for me to justify to eat like 3 of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, not for me because I'm a fucking junk food addict, so it's a little different. This stomach's used to acid all day long. But my absolute favorite, no matter what, I don't always execute the night of the movie, but it'll always come home to me in my pocket and I'll eat it later. I always love just the combo of both. I just get M&Ms and I dump that shit in my popcorn.
All right, well, let's do it right here. Top 5 movie snacks. Question of the day here. Okay. Top 5 movie snacks.
Does the combination count as one? Or would those be my 1 and 2?
Go with replay the combination. Say the combination again. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's popcorn and M&Ms. Plain old milk chocolate M&Ms.
I will say that you can do them as a combination, but you can't be like, oh, I like popcorn, and then I like the popcorn with the M&Ms. Oh, and then I also like
one
M&Ms.
For each.
You got to do
it's either separate or together.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I'm down with that. I'm going to give you a little loophole, though, and I'm going to say that I like popcorn, number 1, and I like M&Ms, number 2, because of their potential to cross over with my other favorite snacks.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Those are my number 1 and my number 2. Number 3 and 3, 4, and 5 in no particular order. I'm going to say red vines. I love classic licorice. Yeah. Especially, again, for the potential to cross over with your beverage action. That's always fun. I'm hesitating to say one in particular.
You can consider a beverage as a snack as well.
Oh, really? Okay, then soda's a must. Soda's number 3 then. So not any soda.
Because there are some people that are like, I don't like a drink when I go to the movies.
Okay, yeah. So then it's popcorn, M&Ms, Dr. Pepper. For myself personally, because I fucking love Dr. Pepper.
I'm not a Mr. Pibb guy.
It doesn't matter. That's the same fucking thing. You cannot change my mind on that. The Pepsi and Coke are different. Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper are exactly the fucking same. Number 4 is hard for me because it's a toss-up between all of the many various types of sour ropes.
Okay.
That you can get. Because I really like the sweet tart ones. I really like classic sour punch straws. Any of the nerd ones are fucking good. Like, all that shit's good. So, like, I'm gonna just like cluster those together. If I really have to pick one, I'd probably pick the Sweet Tart Ropes because those are like a recent find in the last like few years of movie goings that I fucking love. And then Licorice still hits the number 5. It's classic.
Nice. Hell yeah! All right, so number 5. Number 5 for me. I'm gonna throw popcorn at number 5.
Okay.
You know, it
still makes the list.
It still makes the list.
Reliable.
It's reliable. It's like I said, popcorn's always gonna be popcorn. So when you get to that one day, we're like, fuck, I kind of want some popcorn. You're gonna get what you want.
Even
if
you just microwave it in your shit, it's gonna be good.
Number 4, I think I'm gonna go with nachos. This has been a recent favorite of mine. I've been liking it, but I will say it's a lot to multitask in a dark theater to dip your chip into the cheese and then eat it. Because you got to watch. You don't want to spill all over yourself. You're not a heathen. You don't want to be, No,
it's a double-edged sword, the fact that you get like more like food-like options in the theaters now because of that reason.
Number 3, I'm going to go hot dog.
Yeah, okay.
Every movie theater has a fire hot dog.
I contemplated hot dog.
And you cannot tell me otherwise.
No, I love hot dogs at movie theaters. They're good.
They're sitting there. They're fucking rotating. Yeah. There's some good Franks. They're not some bullshit.
No, it's something special about a movie theater hot dog.
And, they got the good mustard. They got the good ketchup.
Yeah.
And that's all you fucking need. A hot dog with some mustard and some ketchup.
Yeah, you're good.
You're golden. Yeah. So that was number 3. Number 2, I'm going to go with an icy.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew icy was going to make it on there.
I'm a big icy
Every
guy.
Every time you get one. Yeah.
Blue raspberry, cherry. If you have a mango one, I'm a big mango guy all of a sudden. I didn't know they had mango icy, and the first time we went to a theater where they had mango icy, I was tripping.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds really good.
Tripping the fuck out.
I never tried that either. Yeah.
And you mix that with like a cherry, fucking
then you're
crazy.
In heaven.
And number 1, I'm gonna go with the Nerd Gummy Cluster.
The Nerd Gummy Cluster.
I think it's just the greatest creation of candy to come out.
It's Wonka. Makes sense.
It's ridiculous.
It's Wonka,
I love gummies. I love nerds. And you just throw them together in a little fucking ball.
You're talking about the singles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just pick, not the ropes. Because that's like an evolution of the ropes.
Yeah.
I think the ropes came first, and then they were like, this would be easier if you could just like.
Oh, yeah. But I'll take if you got a nerd fucking rope, I'll take that over the gummy cluster 10 times out of 10.
Because it's classic?
Just because it's classic. Yeah.
But it's essentially the same.
Yeah.
It's still
But
those are really good.
But I love me some fucking. I'll munch on those. Like that and the icy. If you have that and the icy, those are my go-to snacks right there. Give me some gummy clusters and get me a medium blue raspberry cherry icy mix.
It's also like such a satisfying crunch.
It's a great texture.
Yeah, because you bite into the crunch of the nerds, but then you get like the relaxation of the jelly, and it's just wow. It's amazing. So good. It's
just amazing.
Good. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's like chewing gum that's got little bits in it.
Oh yeah.
When they have like little chunks of flavor in there, and they break up into the gum.
What kind of gum are you chewing?
I'm thinking of like Hubba Bubbas.
Okay.
They have like the bit in the middle that's like a juice kind of, know?
Yeah.
And then you chomp it. I guess that's more like Gushers, but same family. Same
dude, if they got Gushers in the movie theaters,
that'd be crazy.
Dude.
That's another one though where like I feel like if you're subconsciously munching on some Gushers, you might fuck yourself up. Oh, yeah. Because I've certainly squished a Gusher onto my shirt or like something or other before. Yeah, because like I don't always.
Why are you gripping your Gushers like that?
No, I would bite. You bite it in half.
I thought you were just like squeezing your Gushers.
You're like I eat snacks very intensely.
I want this Gusher so bad.
This is good. I squeeze the juice in first and then eat the gummy afterwards. Yeah. No, yeah, but I've bit a Gusher in half before, and it's been the juice spills on me. So I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just clumsy with candy.
Yeah, that was our top 5 favorite movie snacks. Comment down below. What do you think is the best movie snack? Give us your top 5. Give us your top 10 if you want to break it down like that. Because I'd even think of throwing in like any ice cream or anything like that.
Sure,
like the fucking what is it? Like the little
dibs,
fucking the dibs.
Dibs are fire. I also like dibs.
That is a top tier, just ice cream in general, but also a top tier movie snack. But I'm not big on ice cream all the time.
For anybody actually participating in this, I'm going to throw a challenge out there. I want you to come up with 2. I want you to tell us your favorite movie snack and what you think is the best movie snack.
Ooh, wow.
And whether or not those are the same thing or not. Because it could vary, right? Somebody could have a favorite but realize, nah, that's the GOAT right there. You know?
I mean, if you want to like, if we're talking about it, popcorn is probably the just like quintessential movie snack.
Yeah, I feel like if you
because
took
it's
a
been there
consensus,
since the beginning.
Yeah, if you took a consensus, I feel like popcorn easily wins. But that's why I want to see how many people like pop. Maybe it's not anymore. Maybe popcorn has become dethroned.
I will say,
last few years.
there was one time when I went to go watch Asteroid City. They had the fucking hot Cheetos with the nacho cheese cup.
Oh yeah, that is crazy good. That's good. I will say this though, I wouldn't classify that as a movie snack.
No, that's just a regular snack.
Movies jacked that shit. That's not like, that was like a good snack that like homies put together at recess, like with the resources you had. I didn't even come onto that shit until so much later, and I'm so disappointed in myself because I've been an avid hot Cheeto lover forever. Never did any combos.
And an avid nacho cheese lover.
Yeah, but nacho cheese and also cream cheese too are ridiculous for me.
I think just sometimes because that's like a lethal combination for your stomach.
Oh, it's bad.
1000%.
It's super bad.
Like hot Cheetos are already crazy. Like if you're gonna eat a lot of hot Cheetos,
they'll burn a hole in your stomach.
You gotta understand some things are gonna go on.
Yeah.
In that tummy of yours, and you got to be prepared for it. Same thing with nachos. Like you eat a bunch of nachos, and you understand that you're probably going to be on the toilet for a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
when your metabolism finally metabolizes and everything gets ready for the poop.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a bomb.
You throw those together. That is literally Oppenheimer creating.
I was gonna say bomb. You're gonna feel like Oppenheimer leading up to that shit. You're gonna be sitting there staring off in the distance, looking pale, a little bit sunken, maybe sweating a little bit, and then you will drop the bomb.
Straight up.
You absolutely will.
Hell yeah.
Kerplunk.
All right, let's move into something else that just came out that I think me and you are both really big fans of.
Ahsoka.
Oh
my god, it's ridiculously good. It's crazy.
So episode 1 and 2 came out by the time we're recording this. By the time this comes out, episode 3 will be out. So next episode, we will talk about what we feel about episode 3. So hold your fucking horses.
We'll keep up on it.
It's coming. Relax. You got to understand the cycle of the episodes. Record on a Sunday, release on a Friday.
We're going to have a hard time talking about
it. The inverse of how Jesus came back. You know, he died on a Friday, came back on a Sunday.
That's our motto over here. We're just all about doing the reverse Jesus.
Yeah, reverse Jesus. We're taking our time. We're recording on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Releasing on a Friday.
Yeah. We see the old ways tell you work from Monday to Saturday and then you rest on Sunday. We like to work on Sunday and then rest Monday through Saturday.
Exactly. That's what we do. Yeah, guys. Ahsoka episode 1 and 2 finally came out. Yeah. Definitely one of the most anticipated Star Wars titles to come out in a while.
Probably, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Star Wars has been on a roll with their shows, I would say. All of them have drawn in fucking ridiculous viewership. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like what the fans want, this is probably the most anticipated, I would say.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you guys, episode 1 and 2 were pretty fucking awesome. And I think phenomenal. This is a great sort of duo that we have here because you've watched all of Rebels, I'm assuming.
I have, yeah.
I have not watched all of Rebels. So there's something that I always say on the podcast where I can't stand the shows that have like this million years of like backstory that you have to watch through other shows to catch up. And I thought that was going to be my problem with this show because it is, you're picking up with like I don't want to say the remnants of the Ghost crew, but more
or less.
Yeah, more or less. The last, not the last remaining members, but the members that are closest together is who you're picking up with. Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hera, and the homie Chopper as well. Can't forget Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper.
Yeah, I've not sat down and watched Rebels. I have, watched videos on what happens in Rebels, so I am very familiar with the storyline. I understand what's going on coming into it, where the characters are at, where Ezra's at, where Thrawn's at, all that shit. But I don't have the luxury of experiencing all the things that a Rebels lover would experience while watching the show. Little callbacks here and there, blah, blah, blah. But I'm here to say that this show's pretty fucking awesome, man. And I don't think you need to watch all of Rebels. I think it's like an extra credit situation where if you watch it, you get more out of it.
Yeah.
But I think this works well on its own as a show. Like, aside from all the history that precedes the show, I think you can come into it and watch it and get a general understanding of like, okay, these characters have some history. There is some backstory that maybe we're not privy to yet, but I think we will get as we move along.
I would say, depending on how the show unfolds, maybe. As of right now, I would disagree because
Okay.
I think understanding what the deal is with purely just Thrawn and Ezra and how they've affected the characters in play is pretty big. Because again, like you said, even though you didn't watch the shows, you know what happened. And if you didn't know any of that, I would say it's going to be a hard hook. Even if the show unfolds later, the first 2 episodes don't do a lot of holding your hand and like who these people are. So that's the only thing I would say. But you're right. If the show unfolds and we get flashback sequences and this or that happens or whatever, then like I could see it being a standalone show that works. But right now, at least watch a video about what happened in Rebels. You don't have to go watch the entire show. I agree. I think that's perfectly fine. But watch a synopsis at the very least of like how Rebels ended. And I think the show will be a lot better.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think just for me, like when I was watching it, I was like, okay, like I understand. Like if you just strip away like not knowing anything about Rebels and you just watch like, okay, Ahsoka and Sabine have a relationship. I understand that. There obviously is some shit that went down, and maybe you don't know it yet, but that's okay. I don't think each show has to like show all of its cards in the beginning. There doesn't need to be this big old sit down like, okay, Sabine, I know what happened last time, and blah blah blah. Like to me, that'd be like, okay, that's overkill.
Well, what's good too is that stuff is also that the sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the turmoil between Sabine and Ahsoka is not from Rebels. Yeah. So they are doing a good job of setting up a dynamic within these relationships post Rebels, which is a good jumping on point because you can come into it. And fans of Rebels still don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't know why Sabine's pissed off at Ahsoka. I mean, I do, but like, we don't know the details, right? Yeah. So,
yeah, you don't know the cheese.
Nah, I'm waiting for the juice, bro.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Waiting for the fucking juice.
Waiting for the juice.
But
details.
yeah, I thought everything about this was really fucking awesome. I thought the opening sequence immediately got me hooked. Like when you see like the running fucking, I don't know what you call that.
The crawl. It's the old school crawl.
The crawl, but
it's
you
not
have
exactly
it
the same.
Yeah, I like the switch up.
Me too.
I think if you would have done the traditional Star Wars crawl, like while it would have been cool, I think that is like
it doesn't work for the show.
It doesn't work for the show.
No. It would have felt weird. You save that for the movies.
So here's the thing about why I think this works as a standalone show, and I think it is because of that crawl. I think if you
in the beginning,
if you watch and you read the crawl, then you get a gist of what had happened and what the stakes of what's going down in this show.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it paints it out very well. The fucking music underneath that was crazy. I was sitting there watching like
I forgot his name and I'm gonna look him up because I always try to give.
He did the score for Rebels as well, right? Like he did music in Rebels as well.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think there was like just one guy who did Rebels, like or just any of those shows in general. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, I loved the music all around. I thought, excuse me, I thought it was the guy who did.
Let me pull up my notes for this because I did write some stuff down initially for first thoughts of what I thought about this.
I did initially think it was the same guy who does The Mandalorian. His name is Ludwig Göransson. It's not. This guy's name is Kevin Kinner, or maybe Kevin Kiner. I don't know how you say that. But yeah, he did the Clone Wars movie.
Freaking Kevin.
Which is where she first appeared. He did Bad Batch, Doom Patrol, Titans, Tales of the Jedi, all kinds of shit. So he's been involved with Star Wars for...
Dude's been on a run.
Yeah, the last few animated projects. He did the Clone Wars final season that came out back in like 2020. So he's been around. But yeah, he's insane. There were multiple times where I paused. Not the movie, but personally I paused and was like, what the fuck is happening to my ears right now?
Yeah.
This shit is gorgeous.
Yeah. So like the opening crawl mixed with the music gave this almost like horror type of sense to it where you're like, okay, some shit's fucking going down. This is not like normal Star Wars. I mean it is, but it's like there are from the jump there's immediate stakes where you're like
it feels like
where you feel it from the music.
Definitely. No, I what I loved so much about the intro sequence to this was like more than anything else. You know that I like Andor quite a bit. But you also know that I don't consider that like the best Star Wars thing because of how different it is from Star Wars.
To each their own.
And I would imagine that like a lot of people would see Andor as like an evolution of Star Wars. I see Andor as Game of Thrones meets Star Wars. or an HBO show meets Star Wars, primetime television meets Star Wars, Ahsoka, to me, is the evolution of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because straight up, it is the most sickest fucking sequence on its own. And it also happens to be an homage to the intro to the original Star Wars in every single way, shape, and form. The fucking crawl happens. Great. Beautiful. You also start with the peak of a ship coming into frame, the exact same first fucking shot you saw in the original Star Wars. And you get the evil Sith dude storming the rebel ship, fucking tearing through everybody, except it's like slightly different or whatever.
Yeah. And I wrote this down. Like, the whole episode felt like this. The show feels different, but it also feels familiar at the same time.
Yeah. That's...
Like, I don't feel like they're trying to harp too much on like past things in Star Wars. Like, hey, remember this? Remember that? Remember this? Yeah. It's more so they're like, they take shots. Like, I think what I loved the most is there were so many moments from the first episode of Ahsoka that felt like episode 1, like Phantom Menace.
Definitely.
And that's what, like, that was the first Star Wars movie I watched. So when I see like, was it Balin Skull and fucking Shin Hot Tea coming in? Like, I'm immediately
Qui-Gon
thinking
vibes.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan vibes. Like when they immediately come to do the negotiations and shit like that. So that was fucking awesome. Like, and like you said, there are so many like homages to prior Star Wars movies, like everywhere. I thought it was fucking awesome. Ahsoka was fucking badass. Her fights were fucking sick. Like, there was a lot of samurai movie references that I was really picking up on.
Yeah,
and I
the
was
standoffs were really cool.
This is fucking awesome.
She obviously has like a very samurai aesthetic. Like, she's like, I think her attire, especially like on her arms, reminds me of like, and I think it's on her hilts too, but it has like the katana like weave kind of, you know, with like the little diamonds in it and shit, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
She has some crazy sick moves that I don't think we've ever... They're like, once again, they're like evolutions of moves, right? Because like, we've seen people use their lightsabers to cut through the floor, but we ain't never seen them fucking chuck them both down and then use the force to like fucking... Dude, like, that's just too cool, man.
Yeah.
And it's so throwaway too. Like, they don't like make it such a big, like, in your face
Oh my god, look at this.
Yeah, she's not like and like, that's all. Like, she just does it casually, and
like,
it's awesome.
It is this moment that they're like, oh, look at this, but they're not like doing it too much. Like, the frame is like, it's very zoomed out. You know, you get to see everything around. It's like, that's the main thing about that shot, is to see sort of like everything in the temple that she's at, and then the icing on the cake is seeing her fucking do that shit. You know.
I really liked her little puzzle solving bit in there too.
Yeah, it reminds you of some fucking Jedi Survivor,
Definitely.
Jedi Fallen Order
100%
type shit.
gave me those
You're like,
vibes.
damn, I don't have to play through these fucking puzzles right now.
She's
fucking great.
Did you notice too? She also and I can't remember. I have like this faint memory in my head that this was referenced in one of the Mandalorian seasons when she showed up. But she seems to have the same power that Cal does, which is pretty unique among Jedi, if I'm not mistaken.
To sense the Force echoes and
the
stuff
memories
like that?
and shit. Yeah. That echoes. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, she does the same shit. The whole fucking series, both of these episodes, she's just like walking up to shit like a fucking detective and is like, yeah, all right, I know what happened here.
What happened here?
It's cool.
Like, just give me a second.
Hold
Just
on.
give me a second. But yeah, that first episode was fucking sick. The scale feels really big for a show.
Definitely.
Which I think is something that's been my main gripe with like the Disney Plus shows, is sometimes the scale feels very small for something that we're used to seeing very big. Yeah, we're used to seeing very grand. Like when it comes to like Marvel or Star Wars, sometimes
it's hard to adapt blockbuster to small screen.
Yeah, and I think they've done it really, really well here. You see, there's a lot of moments with with the Ahsoka ship. That's a super big fucking ship, and it looks nice with the CG.
Got cool design too.
Lothal, like in live action, looks fucking awesome.
Fucking Lothcat, bro. Or Lothcat, however you say it.
Lothcat, yeah.
Oh man, I was so hyped to see that shit.
Fucking Sabine riding on her fucking little motorcycle thing, whatever it is, the speeder. Sick.
That was the most fucking punk rock thing I ever seen in Star Wars, bro.
I loved it, because I was like, have we ever gotten like different like music that wasn't like Star Wars?
We have, but only in the games.
Yeah.
Cal Kestis listens to music that very much reminds me of what Sabine's listening to. And I like that vibe of like, grungy cantina, but they're playing punk instead of like jazz. Like, I fucking love it.
That was fucking awesome, because it's nice. It's like a nice like character aesthetic that we're getting through like that we're getting through music, and that we're not seeing through like
dialogue.
Visual, through dialogue, and stuff like that. But
it's just epic too. It's such a cool sequence.
Hell yeah, I thought Sabine was awesome. The ending to episode 1 was fucking crazy,
very intense.
I do like the more like stoic sort of adult Ahsoka that Rosario Dawson is going for. I know a lot of people aren't the most on board with it because they're used to the Ahsoka from like Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah. But I think we also have to understand like there is probably a good portion of her life that we're just oblivious to, that we have not seen, so we don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, yeah, definitely not.
She could have fucking changed and been more become more stoic as the years have gone on. So I like it. I think it's a good like progression for her character.
I think it's a natural evolution. Yeah. Like in Clone Wars, she is very much like the Snips persona. Like super fucking, she's like a little mini fucking Anakin.
Yeah.
And then in Rebels, she does still have hints of that, but she hasn't gone full Luke Skywalker, Yoda, Jedi Master type.
Yeah.
So if there's like a middle ground there, I feel like it's like I said, it feels like a natural evolution of like 1, 2, and then 3 is where she's at now. Of like, yeah, dude, I've been around the block a couple times. I've been here for 2 fucking trilogies, motherfucker.
Where have I been? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
What I've been around.
I've been around. I've been doing some stuff. Yeah.
What I've been doing? I don't know.
Yeah, still problematic not entirely problematic. It's just like the nerd in me that has been jaded and spoiled by the Marvel universe, at least like the Infinity Saga being so like tightly interwoven, is like there's an inner voice in me that's like, why didn't you help Luke Skywalker fight Anakin? What the fuck? Or like, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? Right? Like, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, that's the nerd in me that doesn't need to be satisfied.
Hell yeah. And I love all like the mystical, magical aspects that we're getting with what's fucking homegirl's name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember her name either. Let me see. You're talking about the Night Sister, right?
Yeah, it starts with the M.
First time we got a Night Sister in live action, if I'm not mistaken.
Martha
Morgan. Morgan, come on, don't do that.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah, Morgan Elsbeth. There you go. Yeah.
But her character was great. Obviously, we saw her in The Mandalorian. What was it, season 2?
Season 2, yeah. Because that was when Ahsoka showed up.
Yeah, with the Jedi episode. Yeah, getting the reveal that she's a fucking Night Sister.
Which is really cool. Super awesome. Crazy. I feel like that's another thing that has been... I mean, you can make the argument that this show is... And any Disney Plus show is side content compared to like the movies. I don't think that's the case anymore. But... you could still make the argument if you want to. I understand where you're coming from. But I consider this stuff main content now, and it's nice to see these things that were pushed to like the edges of Star Wars media, like the animated shows and the games and stuff like that, come to the forefront. Like seeing Night Sister magic in real life. Oh, that was fucking cool. Sick. When I saw Green, bro, when she's fucking with that orb, I was like, no fucking way, bro. What the fuck? Sick. Yeah, shit's awesome, dude. I like it.
Yeah. I'm also very interested in the Baylan Skoll and the Shin Hati character because we see Shin with a little Padawan fucking with braid in her hair, and you're like, Jedi aren't around no more. You guys don't got green and blue lightsabers, so what the fuck is going on here? So I'm excited to see them explore that.
Me too. Yeah, I like my early guesses on that is that Baylan Skoll is a dark Jedi, not a Sith or a gray Jedi or anything like that. Or like I don't think that he has fully abandoned the ways of the Jedi, especially because he has a Padawan with him. Not in terms of like morality, but in terms of like systematic functionality. I think he still operates like a Jedi. He's just like a bad guy now.
He's like, hey, the way they, had an apprentice and everything.
He's like, that works.
Makes sense. I'm down. I'm down. Yeah. But, everything else I'm not down for.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, because it does feel like at times there's certain things that I like I don't think he's going to have like a full redemption arc or anything like that. But I do feel like a slight pull in him where like, I like that he's a little bit neutral. Yeah, he's not like his what's her name Morgan seems very like fanatical almost about like bringing Thrawn back. Like it's almost like a religious thing. Like
she loves Thrawn.
She really does. Like that's her fucking dude. Like she wants him back big time, right? So I like
Thrawn's like the dude that's in jail, and Morgan is like the chick that's like, outside of jail holding it down
waiting
for him.
100%. Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
I'll wait for you.
Like
holding
in,
down the empire.
Like in fucking Superbad when he's like, "No, go away from me.
Wait for me." Yeah. Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, you guys do me a favor. But yeah, I like his vibe a lot, and I want to see what happens with him. I was saddened to see the dedication at the end.
Rest in peace, Ray Stevenson.
Rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. Yeah, I had heard the news obviously, but I was so pulled into his performance in the first one that like my perception, of the whole first episode in general, my perception of real life things drifted to the peripheral. So seeing that was definitely like a double-edged sort of a pullback, you know? Like I'm like,
it's so crazy. Like when you watch stuff like that, especially him like being so good in that role.
It's such a it's a shame anyway, right? You don't want to lose people who are talented like that and can bring.
You don't want to lose anyone.
No, you don't want to lose anyone. Human life is important. But the fact that it happens so close to a project where his talents were on display at like a very high level,
and he was probably going to get so much love from, like, he's already getting so much love from the Star Wars community.
Yeah, just when he's in the trailer showing up, before he even passed, I think, like when they first started teasing stuff, people were already down. So
yeah, his character is fucking great, man. Fucking great.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm excited to see how the Sabine and Ahsoka relationship turns out. I like that there's like this weird like switch up almost, right? In that like you have a master and a Padawan on both sides of the Force right now. And surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, but in a twist compared to what we've seen, usually it's the Jedi master and Padawan who are in turmoil. And the Sith master and Padawan, or not Sith, but you know, Dark master and Padawan who are like fucking efficient machine. Like they're just fucking carving through shit, even like our main characters and stuff like that, which is cool. I like it. They're not. I like seeing stuff where our heroes are on the back foot. I don't always love when they're
have the upper hand.
Yeah, like I mean that can be good. Don't get me wrong. If you're, you know, that's not like I think anything can be done well if you're creative enough with it. But so typically I like seeing our heroes come from the back foot, and it's good. It's a good start. I like it a lot.
You like seeing our heroes from the back?
I like seeing our heroes from the back, my man. I really do. Especially that Luke Skywalker guy.
Hell yeah. But yeah, the ending to episode 1 was fucking nuts. I love the fight that we have between Shin and Sabine. Obviously, I think foreshadowing for a future fight that we're gonna fucking see.
Definitely, yeah.
I think there are scenes from the trailer that look like they're from a later episode.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. And homegirl gets stabbed in the fucking stomach, and then she just leaves, you know?
Yeah.
And Qui-Gon's like, damn, bro, I could have fucking lived.
Okay, I will say this. I understand the frustration because Qui-Gon is a beloved character and you don't want him to die. But he has to die in order for the rest of the trilogy and all of the other movies to even happen. Because if he doesn't, Anakin would have had a good father and he never would have turned to Darth Vader. That's neither here nor there.
And I think lore-wise there is, because I was thinking about that too, there is like an explanation to that, because during his fight with Darth Maul, he was using the Force to enhance his abilities.
Yeah, because he's older already.
Yeah, so homie was fucking tired. He was 100%. He was burnt out by that time, you know?
And beyond that too, it much in the same way that in real life, it really does depend on where you get shot, stabbed, punctured, whatever it is. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Qui-Gon took one straight through the fucking chest, like probably right into the heart and stomach and shit.
It was in like the stomach, no?
I guess, yeah. He gets him in the middle area is my point. And they do very clearly show. Beans is kind of over here. Maybe hits her liver or something. I don't know. But I don't know where your organs are. But it is, I did notice, because Dave Filoni fucking knows everything. I think they went out of their way to be like, not right in the middle. It's over there a little bit. Actually,
Dave Filoni didn't know that Padme had already met Anakin's mom.
Yeah, that's right. That's like Sam Witwer story. Yeah, no, but I buy it. It's fine with me.
Oh yeah,
I don't care. I think it makes sense to lightsabers can't be that fucking powerful. Like otherwise, it doesn't matter if you're a Jedi or not. You just get a lightsaber and you fucking win. That's it. Yeah. So like I'm fine with them getting not buffs, nerfs I'm okay with nerfing lightsabers. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of the world.
Yeah. I think it was interesting to put that at the end of the first episode because obviously I think Sabine is one of our main characters, so I don't think she is going to die at the end of the first episode.
Definitely not.
But I thought it was really good. It was like super shocking to where even I was like,
yeah.
Like I didn't think that was going to fucking happen.
No, yeah. Well, I think what's effective about it is that like I don't think the intention was to make you like fear for Sabine's life, but more of like a humbling of like, oh fuck, man, the bad guys are like way more prepared for this shit.
These bad guys are bad.
They're ready. They already have the fucking orb. She gets it from her during that fight. Easily able to fucking take her out like nobody's business. Like they keep getting Ahsoka is on the front foot in the very, very beginning when she's on her own. But and I like it because what's interesting is as soon as she starts to team up with other people is when unfortunate incidents start happening on her side of things. And I'm sure that's going to come around because she has like a lone wolf complex right now for sure that I'm sure they're going to work through over the course of the season. But it's good shit.
Yeah. I thought the second episode was a little slower for sure. I think it is a little bit more like building out this world of Ahsoka that we're going to, learning about the different galaxy, blah, blah, and all that. But it was still a good episode. Like, I think there is a lot of, like learning that Thrawn and Ezra are in not the unknown regions, but in a completely different universe. Galaxy. It was, like, it's mind-blowing, because I texted you, like, this is, like Asteroid City type, like everything that we've known to totally be true is getting flipped on its head.
From the very beginning, the first thing we ever saw is a long time ago in a galaxy.
A single one.
Far, far away. This all happened. It's all charted out. You can go to Barnes & Noble and buy a book that'll show you all of the little charted corners of the Star Wars universe, and they all happen in one. So, yeah, it is groundbreaking, the fact that we're going to another galaxy. In mainline continuity now, especially in live action. Like, that shit's crazy. I assume we're going there. I don't know if we'll spend a lot of time there, but I think we'll at least go there, get Thrawn, get Ezra, maybe spend like an episode and a half, and then come back.
I would hope that we spend a decent amount of time in this other galaxy, and I hope it's not just some like, oh, hey, there's another galaxy out there. Show it to you. We're just gonna mention it, and that's gonna be it.
What I would be down for is if they have plans to further the most current Star Wars stories, like meaning like the Rey stuff that they want to do eventually, and like all that jazz, in terms of like chronologically, right? If they have plans to introduce this faraway galaxy as an antagonist of some sort in that story, I'm cool with it being peppered in here. Cause like I'm satisfied enough. I don't need a whole nother galaxy for this story to be cool. If that was just the unknown regions in this shit, and we still went out there maybe to like get him and come back, like cool. But that's just like a cherry on top.
Yeah. I just want to see it.
I think we will. I think we will.
That's what I want. Like I said, I just want to see it. I don't want it to be like, hey, there's this other new galaxy out here. Yeah. But we're not going to go to it. Yeah, we're not going to show you at all.
I think we'll have to see it at least because I doubt that they would not have some sort of perspective on either Thrawn or Ezra coming back. So we'll see one of them do the jump to space over there or however it works. I don't even know. Who fucking knows? Like a brand new ground, brand new territory.
Got to use the Force to go there.
I mean, that's the last time we saw something like this was in Rebels, because there's an episode where I'm gonna call him by his full name, Zeb, but Zeb, the big dude, his people are I think like almost extinct, and they haven't had like a homeworld in a long time, and he's pretty old, he's like ancient or whatever, from back when they were like thriving, and he was like a guard of like the main like kings and shit of his people. But they died, and so he was disgraced and stuff. And his little blaster turns into like a full-on royal guard staff that like combines with these other like tools from his people or whatever, and he's able to chart a waypoint with the ghost ship through the unknown regions to find them a new world in uncharted space.
Interesting.
So within Rebels, we've touched something like this, but I think this is pushing that even further, which makes sense because it's Filoni again, right? Like it's.
Well, I think this is also him pulling from from like Legends and other
Definitely.
things like that, because like in like the Thrawn trilogy and stuff like that, like his people use people that are force sensitive to guide their ships through like hyperspace and shit like that.
Because it's so dangerous to, especially through the unknown regions, because it's not charted, right? Like,
and that's how like earliest people like charted the galaxies and stuff like that, was using through the force, because you have to have these like precise calculations to know like Han Solo fucking describes all this shit, motherfucker. We gotta have all this shit, because if we don't know if we're gonna fucking materialize into a freaking star.
Yeah, you can fucking end up with Bitsy and 7 different star systems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I like this like mystical aspect that Dave Filoni is weaving into like the live action.
Me too.
Because this is something that's been missing from live action for sure. That's again like making it feel fresh but familiar at the same time.
It introduces the like lore building of the for me, Clone Wars is like probably the best source of like the best single source of lore in all of Star Wars. Like all the other stuff is phenomenal, don't get me wrong. I love pretty much everything that comes from Star Wars. Yeah, please. But Clone Wars and Rebels in particular, because of the fact that they're just good old-fashioned weekly shows, like build out the universe so fucking much, and it's crazy to see that shit happening again. Like, I don't understand how this fucking guy does it, man. Dave Filoni's a G, bro.
He just fucking does it, man. That's the thing. He just fucking does it. He just wakes up and he does it.
John Favreau's helping too, right? On this one?
I think he's helping, but I'm pretty sure this is a Dave Filoni. It's mostly
him. I imagine it's his, but I think he's involved in some way. Maybe it's just producing. I can't remember. But yeah. The dude's doing it again, man. He's crazy.
Real quick before we move on to obviously the meaty and potatoes of this episode, who do you think this fucking Inquisitor is? Because the Inquisitors shouldn't even fucking be around. I see a lot of people thinking it's Ezra. I don't know if I fully subscribe to that. I would hate to be this like, not that the point of this show is the quest to find Ezra. Obviously it is like, hey, let's prevent fucking Thrawn and shit that, and we're finding Ezra along the way.
Yeah.
I would hate for it to be, but I think like part of the show is obviously, hey, we got to find Ezra. I would hate for that part of the show to be almost unimportant because Ezra's just right here and he's this evil Inquisitor, you know. I think that would be interesting because in Rebels he does like dabble with the dark side and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't know if that's like fully satisfying.
On the Ezra thing, because my hope is that Ezra is, Ezra is like discombobulated in some way or another. Like, I think it would be a cool surprise if they roll up on Ezra and he's like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I'm the same as I was fucking 20 years ago. But I imagine Ezra's a little fucked up. So I could see that being a route. Here's my hot take. I don't care. I don't give a shit who's underneath that mask. Unless it turns out to be Ezra, I don't see anybody it could be that would have any substantial impact on the story.
It's Cal Kestis.
That's also stupid. Like, given how gargantuan all the other players are at this table right now, you got fucking Ahsoka Tano, you got Sabine Wren, you got Harrison Dula, you got Chopper, you got Grand Admiral Thrawn. Who the fuck is this new dude gonna be? Unless it's Ezra, I don't see anybody else that could pull out of their ass. So otherwise, just let him be a fucking grunt for Sabine or Ahsoka to chop up later, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one of those things where I am like, damn, who is this fucking guy? Because there are like certain shots in certain, especially in the second episode, the way I feel like they kind of talk about him sometimes. Like they mention him a couple times, but then especially like on the fight with Ahsoka, they make him seem like he is kind of somebody. Like with some of the shots that they take, you know, when they're close,
he takes out the frame,
and it's like, But again, I don't know if that's just them like playing with us and like, oh hey, this might be somebody, but no, that's not really somebody.
I too don't like 100% subscribe to the Ezra thing. I wouldn't like hate the show all of a sudden if that was the case. I think they could do that really well as long as they planned it out right. But again, like unless it's him, I don't really see anybody that could be a substantial enough reveal for it to be impactful for general audiences.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other characters they could pull, like I don't like. Diggs was saying the other day, like Barriss Offee or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that too, but
Which,
that's
like,
too much of like a deep.
Nobody's
cut.
gonna fucking know who that is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
for at most the majority of viewers, right? So like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Cut his head off, take his mask off, and have Ahsoka be like, "Oh, he was a fucking droid," or I don't know, he was this or that. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
A droid.
It's a fucking droid.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that they have an obvious Inquisitor in this when this is a time where the Inquisitor's
disbanded.
Yeah, disbanded. But I mean, we do have fucking Baylan Skoll, who was a former Jedi, who we have in this, and the Jedi shouldn't be around. So who's to say that an Inquisitor can't still be around? But I don't know.
It could also too be like it. Do we see him? No, he does use the Force. Yeah, or they do use the Force. They haven't officially revealed.
Yeah, dude. Don't assume their pronouns.
I saved myself, dude. I saved myself. But yeah, no. There's never there is a display of the Force, or there's not.
Yeah, well, they throw the lightsaber,
and then it gets called back.
Yeah, and it gets called back. And that fucking scene when fucking Ahsoka's just like,
so cool.
Oh,
so clean.
I knew it was coming the whole time.
Oh, so clean. I was like,
this is the oldest trick in the book.
Oh, dude, that was sick. That was fucking. She made that look way too cool. I was like, Rosario Dawson, chill the fuck out. All right, you're badass. I get it.
Yeah,
Fucking, it was almost like sassy. She was like, "Yeah, right, bitch. Like, get out of here."
Yeah, because Merrick does it in like a way where they seem like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch this chick off guard." And she's just like,
yeah.
Come on, I got trained by Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah,
you think I'm just gonna let this catch me off guard?
No.
I fucking beat Darth Maul in a fight, motherfucker.
Seriously, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna fucking
do? Nothing.
I took down I escaped the fucking 501st Legion.
Seriously,
when the fucking Order 66 went down.
You're not gonna take Ahsoka.
Come on now, brother.
The rumor that because before we transition, because I think we're getting around to that point. What are your hopes and dreams for the future of this show? At least in season 1.
Oh, hopes and dreams.
Like, what are your ideals going forward? What do you want to see?
I just want to see it continue to stay on par with these first couple episodes. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of my gripes that, if you guys have been listening to the podcast, with just like the Disney shows in general, is like the first few episodes are good and then they kind of fizzle out because I think they try to introduce a lot and then they try to rush through
the rest of it.
What we've introduced, Yeah. I don't think Dave Filoni is someone to do that. So I just hope that I just want to keep being mesmerized by the world of Star Wars that I didn't think I could keep being surprised and mesmerized by.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you've seen everything from Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's what this episode is, or these couple episodes have been like, hey, you don't know everything.
No,
and it's made me like a fucking kid again, like so excited. So what are your hopes and dreams?
More or less the same. Like I think my main hope above all is that like I want to see this show continue to be like a quality produced show all around. But the little kid in me can't help but think back to all of the like Anakin references and lines that are clearly Christian Haydenson that I've never heard before in Star Wars. So I am excited to see the connections that they do try to throw out there. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that with like any big franchise product like this, you're probably not going to have something that's completely devoid of references to stuff. Even Andor has its shit here and there, right? So like, but for him being the main fucking character of like all of Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker is also one of like the least explored, I think, in terms of like his time in the prequels. There's a lot of time jumping during that time that we miss out on. So I think it would be cool to see some of those links get established. I heard, I don't know how the fuck this would happen. The only thing I can see is like some kind of forced vision. But I heard that a rumored sequence in the film, or in the show, is supposed to be an alternate outcome to the duel on Mustafar. I don't know what they mean in that capacity. I don't know if that means Ahsoka shows up and they're able to bring Anakin back from the dark side and like a hopeful dream that she has, or maybe she has like a bad dream where she thinks Anakin killed Obi-Wan or something. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible, but if you can do that, fucking please give me that shit.
Yeah.
I will take any excuse to go back to Mustafar.
Yeah, I think that would be great too, because there's a lot. I feel like there's always like a lot of the question of like, what would have happened if Ahsoka didn't like turn her back and go away from like the Jedi? You know, there's always that like, oh, she could have come back and probably saved him along with Obi-Wan because of how close her and Anakin got, you know, so.
And that's the question that, what's so great is like, that's the question that we ask as audiences. And that's also the question of the character Ahsoka asks herself is like, fuck, could I have saved him if I was there?
And I think that's more of like Dave Filoni being the right person. If that outcome happens, right? Say that happens. I think that is, you know, the outcome of, you know, Dave Filoni being the right person to be in, you know, the driver's seat for this show, because he's someone that for sure has his, you know, his finger on the pulse, you know, and
he's
stuff
got
like that.
He's got his T's crossed and his eyes dotted.
He's got his ear to the fucking streets, and he knows what people want. You know, he knows what, you know, fan theories and blah 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 and stuff like that.
Well, you know what I think is best about Dave Filoni is that, like, better than any other person who's tried to take on creative work in the Star Wars, and 1,000 times better than any fucking fan, because as much as I love all of us, we don't know how to fucking make movies, okay? I heard this great quote from Bill Hader, which was that if you ask for feedback from somebody and they tell you, I don't think that's working, they're 100% right. But the second they start to pitch something else to you, they're 100% wrong. Because what the fuck do they know about making that shit? They're going to make it very biased and personal towards themselves. So as much as I love us as a community, we don't know how to make good Star Wars content. It's probably going to be super cheesy and corny as fuck and not satisfying. But Dave Filoni knows what the fuck George Lucas was trying to do with classic Star Wars more than anybody else. And so, like, he's just the perfect person to pass the reins on to.
Exactly. I think that's the best thing about the show is it just feels like classic Star Wars.
Feels like Star Wars, dude. Yeah. No two ways about it.
Feels like classic Star Wars, and I'm glad to get back into it. So go ahead and go and watch those first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, and let us know in the comments, what did you think? Did you agree with what we said? Did you disagree with what we said?
Ahsoka fucking sucks.
Yeah, if you think it sucked, let us know why. I think we would be interested to understand why, because I think there is a big community. Like, I've gone on YouTube and I've done, you know, watched my videos and just trying to see what other people are thinking about the show, and there is like not a large part of the community, but there is some parts of the community that like maybe aren't the most happy about the show because of the way, you know, Ahsoka is, and there being these big questions about like the relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine when that's not something that was like really explored in Rebels at all, you know.
Definitely not, yeah.
And, you know, all of a sudden Sabine, you know, gonna be a Jedi when she showed no Force like sensitivity, like pretty much like at all, like in Rebels. You know?
I do like though that they reference that, right? They're not just trying to be like, yeah, Sabine's super fucking cool all of a sudden. Yeah. I mean, she is super fucking cool.
She kind of has the Force, but like not really, but she kind of does.
Yeah, she is cool, but I do like that, and I hope they stick with it. I don't want to see Sabine become like intensely Force sensitive over the course of the show.
You're the most powerful Jedi that's ever walked the face of the earth.
Make it cooler and make it that she's not that strong, and she uses her fucking Mandalorian mind to still kick the shit out of these motherfuckers. She's not as strong as them with the Force, but she got a lightsaber, she got her flamethrower, and she can fuck you up, dog.
She's a Mandalorian.
She's a fucking Mandalorian, bro.
Jedi.
She got a lightsaber. Like, come on, be careful.
Go and watch that shit, and we'll return next week with, you know, our thoughts on episode 3.
Yep.
You know, did the episode 3 live up to episode 2? I'm a little scared because episode 3 is a lot shorter than the other episodes.
That's
and you
okay
know me, I'm a longer episode type of guy.
I will say, for me personally, Star Wars Disney shows in particular have a good track record of making the most out of shorter episodes.
Yes.
Of all of the shorter episodes I've seen of Star Wars, they're all usually pretty good.
I agree. I will say, I think we are dealing with something that is like on a grander scale than I think the rest of the shows have done. So I don't know, like we're dealing with these really big concepts, like, you know, that are being introduced to us now, like different galaxy,
definitely.
We're probably going to get into like the world between worlds type of shit.
I hope so, because it's been left alone for like the last fucking 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. So hopefully they just devote the correct amount of time to each subject.
I think I think at the very least we get 2 seasons of this show.
Yeah.
So I think they have plenty of time to build all the world that they want. But like, I don't think this is going to be a one and done. I have a feeling season 1 will be some kind of a cliffhanger. And then you'll want to come back for season 2.
Hell yeah. Just like, you guys like coming back to the show. I hope you guys like coming back to the show.
We like coming back to the show.
We do like coming back to the show. Because you know what? We get to talk about things like we're going to talk about next that we both fucking really fucking enjoy.
That's why I watch any anime. I'm sorry. I'm not the most like versed anime person. I watch the very, very basics, and it's because of that's why I like it.
And these have some of the best.
It has if it's got good then I'm there to all over that.
This episode's gonna be called "Tell them to bring out the whole ocean." I don't even know how you would write out.
That's HYA.
HYA.
Yeah.
Is it HIYA? Because it is like a hiya.
That's a haya to me.
Hiya?
That's like haya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
The H is just there for feeling.
So which hiya would you like to start with?
I was more
since this is your first time watching these movies, and this is like
Oh, you've seen them both?
I've seen them both. Yeah, for sure.
I probably have more to say about Dragon Ball. I have more to ask.
Okay.
About Jujutsu Kaisen. So, what do you want? You want to answer my questions first, or you want to geek out with me first?
Let's answer some questions because
you're well versed in Jujutsu Kaisen.
I love Jujutsu Kaisen. This is probably my favorite anime that I've watched
of all time, or right now.
That I've been exposed to, because there are a lot of animes out there
that's true.
that I haven't watched. And again, I'm not the most versed in anime. If you're gonna ask someone about anime, it's not gonna be me. You know, I can tell you, about One Punch Man. I can tell you about Jujutsu Kaisen. I can tell you about Naruto. I could tell you about Attack on Titan. And that's probably about it. Oh, I can tell you a little bit about Death Note, but it has been a while since I have watched that. Yeah, a little bit of Baki.
Baki?
Baki is another. Yeah.
I just love a good fight scene in anything, an anime.
Yeah. But I don't think Baki's as good as either of these. But
these are also movies, so like you can't.
And also in anime, there's multiple genres. Like there's not
No, that's my. I like. It's battle anime, right? Yeah. Only thing I'll probably watch. I apologize. Maybe somebody could change my mind one day, but I cannot watch this particular style of storytelling without a whole lot of punching and powering up. I can't do it.
I see. I agree. I mean, I see the appeal. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen has recently been one of my favorite animes, to the point where I've even started reading the manga and everything like that.
Yeah,
and I've gotten caught up.
Nice.
Thanks to shout out to the homie. Not my homie, but the homie just in general, the YouTube homie, just to the homie to the YouTube community.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's Diavolo. He does a lot of story arc breakdowns.
Cool.
On where he basically just goes over the whole story.
Yeah.
So I've basically gotten caught up with all of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
And I fiend week to week to figure out
to see,
to see the new chapter that comes out, because they're in a crazy fucking part. Let me tell you. This movie and the episode that you've watched, right? Because you still only have watched the first episode.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
That is very the tip top of the iceberg of what
later,
gets down.
I can imagine. The world seems deep for sure.
Yeah, but we are here to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which is basically the prequel, depending on where you got your start in Jujutsu Kaisen. So if you watched the show first, this is definitely the prequel. Because the show starts out with the story of Yuji Itadori.
Yeah.
But this is in the manga. This is where it started.
Oh, this is issue number 1.
Well, this is issue 0 technically. So it's still Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
So was all of this one issue of the manga, and then issue 1 was still Itadori?
Yeah, and then it went over to Itadori and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, so basically, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is the story of Yuta Akotsu, who has this super insane cursed spirit attached to him, and he's like, hey man, this shit's crazy, I want to he's very depressed at this time.
Yeah, he accidentally almost kills like 4 bullies that are fucking with him.
Oh, they get murdered. They straight up they're all stuffed.
I thought it said they were gravely injured. I mean, they're basically dead. They're probably eating food out of a straw for the rest of their lives.
There were injuries that were irreversible. So I'm just assuming they were dead because there was 4 of them stuffed in a locker.
In a locker, yeah.
All 4 got stuffed in a locker.
Alive probably means like they're husks of meat sitting on hospital beds for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this 16-year-old Yuta Akatsu is sentenced to death by the higher-ups in the Jujutsu sorcery community because of this unregistered super insane curse spirit that they don't know where it's come from. And then you have his sensei, Satoru Gojo, who comes in and is like, whoa, chill out. Well, let me take this guy under my wing to see if he can, get this under control. You come to find out that it's a curse spirit that was attached to him when he was 10 years old, and the girl that he, pretty much loved at the time got hit by a car and died. Yeah. And you're like, holy shit. So it's his story.
It's very sad.
It's a very sad story, but it's some crazy shit that goes down. And he basically learns how to, use his powers in the basic sense and come to grips with everything and meet new friends and everything. Yeah. And everything far in between that you would love in a great story,
Especially in anime, I think. Like to me, it's like it felt very much like it felt like the beginning of Naruto to like when they fight Zabuza, but like in a movie. Yeah. That's it. Like not that's it. Sorry. I don't mean to say that in like a derogatory way, but like that's really what it felt like to me, of like this kid who has an incredibly violent power that he doesn't know how to control, who learns how to use it for the sake of his friends to like beat the big bad guy or whatever. Now I was super down for it because I like that a lot. I think that Naruto is great, and I again say that as praise, not like saying it's a bad thing. But like I said, I have a lot of questions, and so
tell me what you thought overall of Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
So first of all, I enjoyed it quite a bit. The intro is a bit slow for me, but I think that's mostly to do with the fact that like the beginning of the movie feels very much like the first episode of the show to me. I could be wrong there. But from what I remember, it's like almost the same, just with a different like main character. So like it took a little bit. I felt like I was rewatching some shit for a little while, especially because like they kind of also introduced some of the basic concepts of like the Jujutsu sorcerer world that they again also do in the first episode. So again, like having come so freshly off the first episode, like what was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the beginning was a little slow. But after like I once I fucking forget his name, and I'm sorry, but the dude who does the cursed speech.
Oh, Inumaki.
As soon as they had their first mission together, I was hooked for the rest of the fucking movie. When they go and they fight or they go to like the mall or whatever it is and like have their whole first thing, that shit was fucking cool. I really like, to a certain extent, I really, really enjoy the different like battle sequencing that goes on here. It's not like, I mean, at the end it does become like the constant elevation of like, my beam is bigger than your beam, so I win. Yeah. That's how it ends, which is fine because that's awesome and I still want that. But I like that leading up to that, it's like different and a little bit more
strategic.
Yes. The only thing I will say is this. I wish it was a little more subtle. There's some times where like they over explain their strategy a bit too much, where I'm like, dude, you just had like a fucking 1 minute conversation with yourself in the middle of a fight. Like, I know these are your thoughts, so they're probably like flashing really quick, but when I, as the viewer, see you like block something and I see you in midair and you're like, oh my God, that blast was insane. Let me dip into my history book really quick to see where this thing came from and the blah, 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 blah. Oh shit, I'm still fighting. Like that sometimes was a little bit much for me. But I like the idea overall. It works for me in general, of like the fact that there's more thought going into like how to counter your opponent's moves as opposed to just completely overpowering them with like a new Super
like,
Saiyan form.
I'm stronger than you.
I have
so
different colored hair now.
I'm just going to outpunch you.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I very much enjoy both, but I appreciate the difference here. It's fresh for sure. I like it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I appreciate most about Jujutsu Kaisen is, and you learn, like, I would say right now, like especially in that movie, in that instance, is a very basic form of like
The
how
sorcery.
the sorcery and how the characters do actually think out like, oh shit, this person just did this. Now how am I going to counteract this? Like when you start getting into like the later half of like, or when you start getting up in like that first season, you know, and then get to the later half and you definitely start to see higher levels of sorcery. And you're just like, oh shit, these fools really do have to,
more intense,
like these fools really do have to think in like a second and a half how they're going to counteract this fucking shit. You know?
It's more like, cause I really like the magic system a lot. Like I think curse sorcery or jujutsu sorcery, whatever you call it, is really cool. And I think that's like a ridiculous, a superbly open avenue for coming up with whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
For cool anime stuff, right? Because like essentially these people like garner their powers based off of just all the bad shit that happens in the world, right? Because like curse energy comes from places that like bring in a lot of negative energy.
Yeah, they basically come from like from humans.
Yeah, like shitty emotions from humans.
Yeah.
And there's tons of the shitty emotions that we know how to do. So it's endless, right? It's ridiculously endless of like the specializations and like the different types of stuff that they can do, which is cool because like visually it doesn't get I'm not gonna say repetitive, I'm gonna say like signature. Not that there aren't signatures in this, because I think like people have their signature fighting styles, right? But like in things like Dragon Ball, I feel like it's very much about like the beams and the new forms, which is fucking awesome. I love Dragon Ball, and I will still fucking lose my shit if they go like Super Saiyan fucking purple next time. I don't care, whatever, right? I'm gonna be hyped about it, right? I don't care. But it does become repetitive. But again, I'm calling it signature to make, because it is signature, right?
Yeah. It's not Dragon Ball without Goku doing a Kamehameha.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. So they have their thing, but what I like is that there's like a wide variety of things that you can do. So there might not be one particular like fighting move that's like quite as iconic as like a Kamehameha, but there's so many other different ones, and the way that they interact and counteract each other is just as interesting.
Yeah, it's like Naruto, but like more broad. Like Naruto is very broad in the sense that like, oh, you have these different people that can do these different abilities, but people can learn to do the different abilities as well. Whereas this is like each person has their own unique innate ability, and how do they use their unique ability to counteract people that have their other unique abilities.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I will say another thing that's not like, I'm not going to put this as like a slight against the show, because this is just a personal thing for me, but like it's weird to me that the world outside of the sorcery stuff feels so normal.
It's just the regular world.
I don't like it. That part I don't like. Like I want it to like even Dragon Ball is like kind of weird. Like they have hover cars and shit and like, you know, whatever. Like it's just Earth after that, which is cool. It's fine. And I get that it like grounds the idea of like the source of this like type of like magic or curses or whatever it is. It's just like a little bit bland sometimes.
I feel you.
Like I feel like you could achieve the same thing if it was like fantasy instead. If regular humans were walking around with swords and bows and stuff, I would just be like that much more down. That's all.
I feel you. I like the kind of like this underground feel of like there's this whole other world that operates.
That is cool.
Like outside of these like what regular people see throughout their day-to-day.
It gives me Harry Potter vibes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the hidden world underneath the world that you know.
Yes.
They very much interact with it and affect it and shape it even at times, but like people don't know what the fuck. Muggles don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm curious, what did you think about the homie Gojo? Because this is your first time really experiencing what the fuck he does.
Totally not who I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Because he is like, the only comparison you were able to give me off the cuff was, or off the top, whatever, I don't know references, fucking was Kakashi, which I get it, I do understand.
They just look similar.
Yeah, personality wise could not be more fucking different.
Way
like
different.
Kakashi is a goofball and he's a perv, right, from time to time, but this is totally different. Like Gojo reminds me of like like a 30-year-old who's still trying to be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or something like that. I don't know. And I like it. It's charming, but like he's goofy and like honestly kind of lame, like from time to time. Like not in terms of what he can do, right? Because obviously he's like the most fucking crazy badass sorcerer. What he like, his thing is just like, I like how everybody else's is like this cool niche thing of like, oh yeah, like I have cursed speech, like blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I had this really tragic thing happen to me, so I can do this, or like, I can do that. And then you get to Gojo, and he's like, yeah, I just, space and time, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Reality, I can just do whatever I want to that shit. Like,
yeah, well, he's the because they don't necessarily get into like Gojo and like
it's very quick. They only
very quick.
Yeah, they shortly explain his powers.
So he's the user of like the six eyes. So his six eyes, the reason he wears that bandana is because when he's constantly using his curse technique of like limitless and like
limitless.
The six eyes, and the six eyes basically allows him to see cursed energy.
Okay.
And so he can see cursed energy. He can see what it outlines. So he can basically see like regular
anything
shit.
Happening. Right?
Anything happening. But that does use a lot of energy for himself, and it can tire him out.
Yeah.
So he uses that to kind of like dull it down like a little bit.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And he's just the most badass. Like the limitless is basically him like bringing infinity, like the concept of infinity, like to reality.
Yeah. He
So,
can just
like,
do anything, right? Like
You can literally just like not touch him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I'm just going to create infinite space between myself and you.
And then it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's insane. You definitely for sure get like I don't even like know what to compare it to. Like, I guess like Yoda vibes in like the prequel, like he's just like the master that's like so far outclasses your hero who's supposed to be like the chosen strong one or whatever. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, holy shit with this motherfucker. But
so
it's
funny
cool.
that fool is just like, he's just constantly saving kids from being executed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like they're all like,
which noble.
Like, oh wow, this kid, we don't know who the fuck he is, so yeah, we're just gonna kill him. And he's like, hey, whoa, hey, like, let's chill out here. And they're like, hey, what? We don't know. We just want to kill him.
No, yeah.
You know?
No, it's a noble cause. I like it.
Yeah.
I am not obviously at all where you are with it, so there are plenty of character developments that I do not know about him. But one thing that I did think of, which would be crazy, because I thought of that too. I was like, why is this motherfucker going around saving people all the goddamn time? But he's like best friends with this dude who wants to like make a sorcerer only world. I'm sure he's a good guy, so it's probably not going to happen. But the thought did cross my mind of like, damn, what if he's like a super fucking secret undercover agent? And like 10 years into the manga, they're like, yeah, Gojo's a bad guy, you guys. No, I don't. Yeah. I'm sure that wouldn't happen. But
his whole thing did cross my mind. His whole thing is like ushering a new age in of like jujutsu sorcerers who like just do the right thing, basically.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Who like save people because like they're people strong and they have the ability to like save people.
Yeah, that was like the whole like philosophical argument. I mean, like it wasn't intense. Like it's only told in like super short flashbacks that Gojo has to when he was still friends with what's the dude's name? The bad guy?
Suguru Geto.
Yeah. When they were still friends, Geto and Gojo, that was like their main argument, right? Was that like Geto's like, why the fuck should the strong help the weak? The strong should help the strong and like thrive or whatever. And then like I think just a Jujutsu high school in general, right? Like that's their shit of like, or just the Jujutsu sorcery world in general is like, no, the strong use their power to like help the weak and blah 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 or whatever. So
I do like Geto's question of like, are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest, or are you the strongest because you are this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like it as well. I'm not like versed enough into the world to like know where he lands on that question, but it's a good question to ask your most powerful character. Because at least it's like basically the question of like, was this power given to you or did you earn this power? Right? Of exactly. Like, yeah, which I like. It's good.
Yeah, there is like a lot of nuances to like the thinking behind Geto that you do learn once you get further into like the manga and like the show and stuff like that. So it's not like, not that it's this like super gray area of like his decision making, but there is some like, okay, like I see where, not like, oh, I see where he's coming from, but like,
no,
there are characters that pose the same question, but just have a different means of like, have a different way of like
going about finding
the answer and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
no,
you know?
he did very much give me like Thanos vibes in that sense, where like, or no, maybe that's not right. I would say Magneto, in that like he's like, hey man, I'm just looking out for my people, like because you hear the story of like the little like teens that are part of his group, where they're like, you don't know what it's like to grow up as a sorcerer without other fucking sorcerers around. Like they fucking treat you like a freak. They like blah 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 this and that. So like you do understand where he's coming from, because like he's just looking out for his people. Like he straight up says it. Like he's like, don't get me wrong, I do fucking hate. He calls humans monkeys. Yeah, which is funny to me because Frieza also calls the Saiyans monkeys. Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious.
We're always connecting the dots,
just somehow with like the most stupidly obscure detail.
I love it.
Me too. It's great. But yeah, he's like, don't get me wrong. He's like, I fucking hate humans. He's like, but I never held a shred of hate for anybody in Jujutsu High. Like everything I did was for the good of like sorcerers. Like that was it. So like he does give me Magneto vibes. He's like very clearly a bad guy, and he's using bad guy tactics to get what he wants. But you're like, okay, I get it. Like, I understand. I'm not going to do that, but I get
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. But what did you think about the fighting sequences?
The fighting sequences are very good. One thing I was thinking about is interesting to watch these two back to back, right? Because if I remember correctly, I think Super was plagued with like bad animation problems in the beginning when it first came out. So I understand, but it's if you're just trying to compare the two movies side to side, it seems like an easy win for Dragon Ball, because I think the fight scenes look better in Broly. But if you take into account the entirety of the series that it encompasses, the fact that the fight scenes in the show are closer to the quality of the fight scenes in this movie than it is in the other series is fucking crazy to me. Like the fact that I was like, damn, this is what they pull off in the show, bro. Like this is impressive. Like
Mappa gets down, bro.
They're doing that shit on a big ass budget, and they do that shit on the show budget too. Like I was like, all right, because that means they have good blocking, they have good choreography, they have good creative fight sequences. It doesn't rely purely on spectacle. Because like, again, we'll get into it. I'm an easy motherfucker. So Goku turning Super Saiyan Blue and like lavifying the Antarctic Ocean, 1,000 times cooler to me. But that's because I'm a basic bitch. This is much more creative for sure, and I can respect that, because the again, like every single individual that would be competing in a battle has their own like thing to overcome, and so it like by default makes each of the battles like it's necessary at that point to like make up creative ways, because it would be stupid if you build this whole world and then all of a sudden Itadori's like, no, I'm more cursed than you, bro, fuck you, and just like fucks him up, you know, or something. That'd be stupid. Like it doesn't. Yeah. So I appreciate, and I really really like the creativity of the scenes. I don't fully understand it yet, but I think I get the gist that like sorcerers can infuse certain items with energies of different types and use them as like weapons and shit. Like Panda has his little things around his hands that he turns into punching things later. One of the teachers like pulls off his tie and like wraps it around his hand, and then that turns into like a magical punching device. Like Yuta can like imbue the curse energy in his sword and stuff like that. I'm always fucking down with that. I like super powered beings taking their superpowered essence and putting it into something that they can beat the shit out of somebody with, because it feels really cool. I like it. It's good shit.
So the guy that you're talking about that takes the tie off,
yeah,
it's fucking Nanami, bro. And
Nanami?
that fool's bad, bro. That
okay,
fool's
so
hard.
This is where a fucking floodgate of questions starts to open up for me. So really quickly, I have to pee. So get your last thoughts out about our review portion. Okay. And then I'm going to come back and bomb you with a bunch of questions, because there's so many things I need to know about just characters and stuff. Okay.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, what else can I fucking say about this movie other than I love everything about this movie. I love the show because I think there are a lot of concepts and ideologies and philosophies that characters hold that are inherently simple. They're not the most like complicated, right? Like with Yuta, at one point he's just like, hey, I just want to be like accepted. I want to be wanted by someone. And that's a very like simple concept that a lot of people I think can gravitate towards and hold on to, right? But to encompass that in a show and to give each of these different characters like their own different wants and own different needs and own different ideas and what they want from Jujutsu sorcery is absolutely astounding. Like when you get to especially like a character like Maki who doesn't have any cursed energy, and she's like, yo, I want to be a fucking grade 1 sorcerer because the family that thinks I'm a fucking worthless piece of shit, yeah, fuck them. I'm gonna go fuck them up. Like that's beautiful, right? Like that is giving depth to, you know, a lot of, you know, giving depth to side characters that you don't necessarily need to give, right? You can give them like the most surface level fucking characteristics if you want to, but to go into these characters, and I mean Maki's not a side character by any shape of the imagination, right? Especially if you've read the manga. But just for this movie that's not centered around, you know, I mean Yuta is the main character, right? So Maki is like a side character. But to give her those layers is awesome, you know. And then when you look at Inumaki, and he's saying that like he's had cursed speech since he was young, and just all these layers to the side characters that I think is what makes this show one of my favorites, is because like it's just great. Like there's these simple concepts that just grow and blossom into these big grand like lore pieces, and it's just fucking awesome. Like it's just great. The fighting in this is awesome. Like I don't even have to speak on the fighting, but like the fighting's awesome. There's just so many characters that you can be like, hey, this is my favorite character, and you can make an argument for it. And I love it. I think the show's great. There's a lot of lovable characters. The art style is amazing. Yeah. Like the choreography, the fights, fucking really crazy. Like it's on point. And yeah, I just love this movie. I think you guys should go and watch it. If you guys haven't watched the show, go and watch the show. You can start with the movie if you want to too, because I don't think the movie spoils anything for the show. If anything, you watch the movie, and then you go and watch the show, and you get surprised by things that you see in the movie that you didn't think you were going to see in the show. So yeah, this is just great all around. Gojo's an awesome character. Everyone's just fucking awesome. So yeah. What are your questions, sir?
Okay. Why does this exist? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so most of what I want to know is based around, and I don't want like details that are going to spoil things, obviously, but more just like confirmations or denials of like, I was, again, under the impression that this was going to be like some type of Gojo origin story. Very much not that. So how much do the main 4 characters in this movie, the main 4 student characters in this movie, factor into the rest of the show, if at all?
Well, like the show, if you're going into the future of the show, like they all have like their own really big shining moment. Like they all like, you see them in the show and you're like, oh fuck, I remember these fucking characters. And so you definitely get to grow with these characters. It's not, they're not just some characters that they made for the movie and they're just gonna fucking, you know. So you definitely see them, and a lot of them turn out to be fucking awesome.
I imagine.
I mean, they're all awesome, but like,
yeah. Okay, so because that's what I was wondering with that, was that like it seems weird to me that you would make a prequel that introduces, or I don't know when it came out, or like in terms of versus the show or the manga, maybe people already knew who these characters were, but to me, as a new viewer,
if you read the manga, you knew who the characters were. If you just got introduced to the show, you didn't know who the characters were, and you got introduced to the characters during the movie.
Okay. So because it was gonna feel weird to me if it was throwaway, like if they were just for the movie or whatnot. Because like I was wondering like, damn, all right, well, because I was expecting, especially once the homie what is it, Geto, shows up at the school. I was like, these motherfuckers are gonna die. I was like, they're gonna take him out and they'll beat him, but they're gonna fucking die. There's no way they're not gonna they're gonna get out of this shit unscathed. And then they do. They're all fine, which is tripped me the fuck out for sure. I was like, because it would have been way easier, right? If you're fucking Crunchyroll, Toei, whoever's producing the shit or whatever, it's easy to like, yeah, we're gonna cash in on a sick movie that has a bunch of cool shit that we can put in the theaters, but then we're gonna kill them off so we can keep the narrative going of what we have. But the fact that it is still tied into the overall story of the main manga and or show, respect. That's good to know. I like that a lot. Okay. Again, I don't want details because I want to see what happens with these motherfuckers. But my other question is, and if this is a spoiler, then just tell me, but how much time passes between the end of this movie and the beginning of the show? Do we know that?
I want to say like about a year.
Okay.
Because they're all first years.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the show, you have a new set of first years. So when you get to the show, Yuji, Megumi, and then another character that you meet, they're all first years.
Okay. So
and in this movie, you have Maki.
Yeah.
You have
Panda,
and then you have Inumaki, and then you have Yuta. They're all first. They're all first years.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I would say about a year.
Okay. So it's not like a graduating class coming back to the school or whatever. Like they're still in school when they come along. They're just like more advanced in their studies, like in the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see. Okay. I was also wondering, and I think you kind of already answered it, which was I was curious as to like how much Geto was going to factor into the rest of the show as well, or if at all again, which it seems like his ideals do in some way or another, or like other people seem to take on his ideals.
I would say his ideals definitely remain like in the show. Like they definitely come up like for sure.
Is it that like a lot of the villains in the show tend to embody the same ideals, or are they like directly connected to him in some way or another? Or is that a spoiler question that I'm asking?
Say that one more time.
I was asking if like there's a general consensus among the villains in this world that like, yeah, fuck humans, we should just fight for sorcerers, or are the villains later like directly correlated with him in some way or another? Like, do they have a link to him or like a past or something? Because the other, if I'm not mistaken, all of his other group didn't die.
No, they all got away.
Yeah. So I assume they're coming back too, if all of the rest of this is connected to the show in one way or another, or at the very least.
I will say, what was the first thing you said? Like
if the bad guys are in the show are connected to Geto in some way or another.
I wouldn't say they're connected, but just like there are sorcerers that hold similar ideals to him.
Okay. Because I imagine he's like big business in the sorcerer world, right? Like people know who he is. He's not just like some one-off bad guy, right?
And so in the Jujutsu sorcerer world, there's only 4 special grade sorcerers.
Yeah.
That's Gojo, that's Geto, that's Yuta, and that's another character that you haven't met yet.
Okay. So is Itadori not a special grade curse?
He is
or is he just like chosen one?
He's a vessel for a special grade curse.
So he's Anakin. Not in terms of whatever, but he's the special one.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
He doesn't like fit into the regular categories of power, but he's also still like very strong somehow.
I mean, not that he doesn't fit into the regular categories of power. Like he is like, he's already just based wise hella strong.
Yeah.
So he's already just freaky, like
powerful as a human.
like Maki.
Yeah.
Like you know how Maki.
Oh yeah,
like
she's badass when she just uses the tools, right?
Yeah, she doesn't have any cursed energy.
No, she's cursed tools.
She's just stupid raw.
Yeah.
So Itadori's like the same way.
Okay.
Like before he even gets like eats Sukuna's finger.
Yeah.
Like he's just
he can like fucking leap over the buildings and race at high speed.
So like he's a vessel for a special grade curse. Eventually he can become a special grade sorcerer. But like
he has to master his powers first.
He has to master his techniques and stuff like that,
which is already
like even in the
right?
manga, like you still don't even know what the fuck his technique is. Like people are still trying to figure out like and there's still theories about like what the fuck's his fool's technique.
Cool.
We haven't learned this yet.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Let me see. What else did I have? Yeah, I think that was more or less it. Oh, I was gonna ask. There's 2 groups of characters that take part in the battles at the end of the movie. that they seem to like put too much of a highlight on for me to not wonder if they're again part of the overarching story. There's one bit where there's like a really big green dude that comes out, and there's like a really big strong guy who seems like, from what I saw, maybe he's a more in-depth character, but from what I saw, he seemed like the really like strong
Toto,
dude.
he was just hella, no
he's
shirt.
Like, just like
that
I'm gonna
fool's-
fuck dudes up
dude,
because I'm big or whatever.
That fool's. If you want to learn more about the character, watch more of the show.
Okay, yeah,
He's fucking badass. Bro.
Okay, so that
He's
group of
fucking
characters
carry.
then is in the show.
He's
with like
the
3
group
other
of,
people.
Yeah, you'll see the group of characters for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But if you want to know more about that fool, keep watching the fucking show.
Okay, all right.
He is so clean,
And
he's not even a special grade sorcerer.
Yeah, he's just badass sorcerer. Right?
He's just
because there's
I think
there's
he's
4
like,
classes.
Yeah, so there's
right?
there's
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2, 2, 1, and then there's special grade.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, and then more or less the same question, but because you told me about the dude with the tie.
Mm-hmm.
He's a crazy guy. There's also a girl with purple hair who fucks shit up.
She has like purple hair.
Yeah, she's got purple hair and she has like a staff or like a
like a big ass axe.
It's an axe.
Okay,
yes. Yeah, her. I assume those are teachers at Jujutsu High.
The chick with the axe, I can't really remember. I don't think she is.
Okay.
I think she's just a stupid raw sorcerer.
Yeah.
And same with the dude with the tie, Nanami.
Yeah.
He's not a teacher or anything.
Okay, but characters relevant to the show.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because that was the only
Nanami
thing.
actually does like the craziest thing in Jujutsu like in the world of Jujutsu. Not like the craziest thing, but like something that's like pretty fucking
groundbreaking.
Rare. So you know when he fucking punches and all of a sudden like it's just black and red?
Yeah.
That's a fucking black flash. So that's like when like everything is fucking in tune. Like your fucking your fucking curse technique, whatever is all like everything you've imbued is like just perfectly, and you're not fucking thinking about anything else. It's just and you just perfect, it's just a perfect fucking hit. Yeah. And he does that like I think like 4 times in a row.
I was gonna say he seems like the centered badass. Where like you have your charismatic badasses who are like cool, but they have their problems because they're like actual characters or whatever. Yeah. So when you're in the bathroom, I was saying like the cool thing about this show is each character has their own specific like ideologies that they hold that are very unique, that are very different from any other character. Yeah.
And they do take their time to kind of dive into those.
Each of them.
And there is like a portion of an episode like in the first season where they dive into like his thought process
on everything
of everything and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
And it's pretty fucking gnarly. Cool. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, Nanami's fucking badass. And the chick with the clave, she comes around like season 2's in like gonna be starting the craziest fucking arc that anime's probably gonna see in a fucking cool last minute. But she comes around I think during that arc.
Okay.
So you see her there in the movie. You really don't see her too much in like the first. I don't think you really see her at all
in the first season or anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I think that was mostly it.
Cool.
And that was about it. Yeah. But yeah, more or less it was because what I will say is that like while I enjoyed the movie, having only seen the first episode, I can't imagine how much more satisfying it would be having seen the show first, because they very, very, very clearly linger on these characters that have specific character designs. They don't look like random sorcerers in like the black garb, right? Like they have their own looks. So you're like, okay, I've seen anime before. That guy has lines somewhere. He looks different, right?
Yeah.
So, but they don't do anything in the movie. Not that they don't do anything. They have a cool display of power or something really quick. But like, you don't see him at all in the first 45 minutes of the movie. They show up for a cool little sequence here and then it's gone. So they very much felt like fan service moments that were lost on me.
You can say. I think it works in like, it can work both ways. Mm-hmm. Like it can be like if you've watched the first season and then you see these characters like, oh my God, like, yeah, oh fuck, there's Nanami, fuck yeah. Oh, I got to see this moment. But then it's also like, if you watch this and you're like, holy shit, who are these characters? Like you're saying like, oh, who's this dude that fucking, when the big fucking green curse walks out and there's this fucking dude, you're like, who the fuck is that dude?
Yeah.
Like when you see him in the season and then you meet him and then you really get to spend time with him, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
This dude's crazy. So I think it almost works both ways.
Yeah.
You know.
I would, because like I if they were gonna do that, I would have liked the characters that they wanted to do that with to be present in the entirety of the movie. Because the fact that they just show up in that final battle to like punch somebody really cool really quickly, visually I fucking love it. I'll eat that shit up all goddamn day long, trust me. But like character wise, I was like, fuck, I know this is a dude later, which is why I asked, right? So I couldn't help but feel like a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
of like,
I will say they're probably more fan servicey.
yeah, not in a bad way. I love fan service.
Yeah.
Like I want that shit all goddamn day long. I'm just saying maybe it's just because we've been so like flooded with that type of thing in media these days. Like I can recognize it now. So when I see it without knowing what it is, it's disappointing. It could just be that, right? But yeah, it did very much feel like I was like, wait, you guys are really strong. Like I do want to know more about you, but I don't even remember your name. And I kind of only know what you look like. And I only saw you for like 20 seconds.
Yeah. So I think if you like watch the rest of the season, you're like, oh fuck, okay, I remember this guy.
Yeah.
And like I would say like the part with Nanami,
because
when he does the black flashing, he does it like 4 times.
Yeah.
That is, I think, one of those parts that can be like
watched both ways.
Watched both ways because you're like, holy shit, this is obviously pretty fucking crazy because these sorcerers are dying. This fool just comes up and he murks all these fools. And then he just like, there's a reason why the fucking animation, the color to this just changes to black and red. Right? Yeah. And you're like, damn, that's crazy. And then he has a moment in the season where he's just like describing what Black Flash is. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's super hard to do it one time.
Let alone
it's very rare that people do it multiple times in a row. Yeah. He's like, I've done it multiple times in a row, one time ever. And he's like, and I did it like 4 fucking times.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like hearing him tell that story and then getting to see it is like, oh, fuck, there it is. Versus like my experience with that situation was I'm invested in this over here because Yuta is fighting Geto. And I'm emotionally invested and I'm down because he's like, realizing he needs to like, not merge because it turns out he's the one who put the curse on, what's her name? Rika? Rika. I know, Reiki's the fucking other shit. I know, my bad. But my experience with that was like, okay, I give a shit about this. I'm down. I'm here. And then I come back to Kyoto or wherever they are, whatever city in Asia they are.
Japan.
Yeah, sorry. And I knew it was Japan, but I wasn't sure if both of the cities they mentioned were in Japan, so I tried to save myself. I probably sounded more ignorant. We're going to move on. The fucking... I show up and I see random black-garbed, no-named, generic sorcerers dying. And I'm like, all right, yeah, this is fucked up for sure. And then I see 2 random generic sorcerers standing there watching all of this happen. I'm like, yeah, that looks fucked up. They look like they're about to get traumatized. And then they're like, I guess we gotta go fight them now. And then somebody who actually has a character design just shows up and it's like, don't worry, I'll punch these guys for you. And then he punches them real good. And it looks cool. And yeah, the colors changed and everything, but like, I don't know what the fucking that means. Don't know it doesn't make any sense to me. So like I again, it visually, it was really cool to watch. It doesn't take away from the actual like choreography of the fight, but like impact wise, I think it maybe works better if you have the context.
Yeah, because you don't know what a fucking Black Flash is. So like, if you like know, like, oh damn, that's some hard shit, and then you just see the homie come and do it 4 times, you're like, oh
yeah. To me, I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like they change the colors when they punch people. I like it. Like it seems like an art choice to me, rather than like a functional goat move within this universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's true. Because that sounds way fucking cooler the way you're explaining it. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I don't even know if I have the like the you know what I mean? Like the recognition of it in the moment. So
I'm saying you need to watch the rest of the first season.
Yeah. No, it seems good. I will say this is a good jumping on point, I think, because you get a full satisfying because I think one of the things I mentioned to you was that like when I watched the first episode was that I wish it was like I still haven't seen episode 2, but like I would imagine that things start to get a little bit more like not wrapped up, but like boxed up and moved along into the next sequence of events. The first episode is very cliffhangery. So the fact that this movie starts and ends in like a successful and meaningful way is a good jumping on point, I think.
You really get exposed to the world of
yes,
Jujutsu Kaisen.
big time. And it's satisfying. Like, you know, like again, like, I mean, granted, the episodes are only like, what, 20 minutes? So if you watch one, you can watch another one. But my point is that this one doesn't leave you hanging. This one definitely gives you satisfaction by the end of it. Of like, yeah, your heroes made it out and they've grown for the better, like type of shit. So it's good.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think it functions as a movie better than Broly does.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Because
it's very Dragon Ball's
better
very
movie.
Dragon Ball's very different.
Very different.
It's like, hey, we're gonna show you guys some cool fucking fights.
And
And there's gonna be
shit
kind of a
ever.
story. There's gonna kind of be a story.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just because it's a movie and we have to have a story. Or else it's just a fight montage.
No, yeah, and that's yeah.
So what would you rate Jujutsu Kaisen 0?
Like an 8.5.
8.5?
Like yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm a 9 out of 10er.
I could see myself being there too. But again, I think I missed out on some of the hype moments that I could have had I seen the seasons, right?
I would agree.
That would have pushed me to like a 9 for sure. But yeah, but without it, it's still really good.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say like I'm not recommending it because I have like it's still go watch it regardless of what you've seen from the rest of the franchise for sure. That's really good. I like it a lot.
All right, shall we get into Mr. Broly?
Vegeta. Yeah. No, most definitely. Yeah. Kakarot. Yeah. This shit was crazy, bro.
We're talking about Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Fucking Christ.
If you are familiar with the former Broly movie, it's kind of similar, but also very different.
Very different, yeah.
We are introduced to this new
like fucking
Saiyan.
3 other Broly movies.
Yeah. We're introduced to this new Saiyan, Broly, who might be the legendary Super Saiyan. We don't know, but he is this baby that has this super crazy astronomical power that can't even be read by the Scouters.
Nope.
He gets sent off to planet Vampa by King Vegeta, the late King Vegeta, the former King Vegeta, not Prince Vegeta, not the one we're used to.
Not the Prince of All Saiyans.
No, but his dad, the king. So sends him off because he's like, hey, this kid's going to be more powerful than my kid. I can't have that shit.
Yeah.
So let's send him off to die. And, sends him off to planet Vampa. Paragus, Broly's dad, goes after him. They get trapped there. And then he grows up and he becomes super crazy powerful.
Yeah. And he's basically like raised as like a almost like an attack dog.
Exactly.
Honestly, like his dad literally gives him a fucking shock collar and like reins him in, and it's fucked up too. Like there's like we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but yeah, there's a bit where he's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's like a little shock, like it doesn't do anything," and then you see him do it later, and it's like, I was like, what the fuck, bro?
I was thinking that same thing.
I thought it was gonna be like a real quick or whatever, which is still bad, but like it's crazy. He looks like he's going Super Saiyan Blue and shit, bro. It's like nuts. It's fucking hardcore.
But yes, when Broly grows up, the withered down Frieza Force gets wind of Broly. They bring him back to Frieza, and he's like, wow, I'm gonna use him and the Dragon Balls so I can fucking kill Goku and kill Vegeta. Or kill Vegeta and then I'll kill Goku.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts about this movie is that like the inciting incident is that Frieza wants the Dragon Balls again, which is like we've already done that and we've done that masterfully. There's a video by this dude named Cosmonaut Variety Hour who talks about how from the beginning of the Saiyan saga to the end of the Frieza saga and arguably even the Cell saga, tightest fucking shit you'll ever see in a battle anime. Like nothing better than like the weaves in and out from that shit to that point. Anyway, tight fucking shit. They're like, we already did that. This time we're gonna do it again, except Frieza wants to be taller. Yeah, I loved it. That shit
barely taller.
Shit's fucking hilarious, bro. Especially because like Bulma's already got 6 of the 7 Dragon Balls, and she has a radar, obviously, and those get jacked by some people by the Frieza Force. So they're like, what the fuck were you gathering the Dragon Balls for? And she's like, well, to be honest, I was going to use it to make myself look 5 years younger. And then they literally go like, it's so good. It's stupid parallels, but it's fucking funny to me because they're like, Why not just like go for the full 10 yards, make it a decade? And like, you're stupid. People would think that was plastic surgery. Like, you have to make it subtle, right?
Yeah.
So dumb. Like, the dumbest fucking shit ever for the stakes of Dragon Ball that we've had, right? Like, Goku's fought multiversal threats.
Yeah.
And Bulma's like, I need the Dragon Balls to look younger.
Yeah.
Love it. Then you get introduced to Frieza in his regular cold-hearted shit. At this point in the movie, like the timeline, you've already seen him wipe out the Saiyans again. Guess he's like, I want the Dragon Ball so I could be 5 centimeters taller. And then same shit, he's like, why don't you just go for like 10? And he's like, fool, I want it to look like I'm still growing.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
It's so dumb.
So stupid, but I love it. Cause like they know, they're like, look guys, we've been here for fucking 40 years.
It's
dog.
so
like,
dumb, but it almost makes sense in the world of Dragon Ball.
100% it does.
Where if like Goku and Vegeta saw him a little bit taller, they'd be like, "Fuck, hey, this fool's still growing."
He's growing.
Bro.
Yeah,
This
they
is
trip
nuts."
out. Yeah. It'd be some stupid thing where like Vegeta would be like, Kakarot, does Frieza look a little taller to you?
You know what, Vegeta? He kind of does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you can't stand with it. Especially because Vegeta's short. Like, if he outgrew Vegeta, it'd be such a fucking thing, man.
We're
Yeah.
just pissed because he's
Just
short.
fucking all cross-armed. Yeah. But yeah, I love the like awareness, right? Of like, they're like, hey, look, we've been here a long time and we've technically done this story already, but we want to show you this really cool and fancy animation style that we have that looks really good for fight scenes. So we're just going to goof off. They're like, you know, this shit's funny. Like, Dragon Ball started as an adventure comedy series in the fucking shit. Like,
they goofed off at the points where they knew they can goof off.
Yeah.
And then they improved the Broly story to where it was like
way better.
Like King Vegeta didn't fuck with this dude because they could see his power level, and he's like, nah. Versus like in the old movie, he was like, Goku cried too much, and I hate
it's
you.
so stupid.
you.
It's so bad compared to it. Like, it's ridiculous how bad it was in the old days compared to this. Yeah,
I fucking hate you, Kakarot.
you fucking crybaby.
Crybaby.
Yeah, literally, that's it.
And I like that in this movie, it's not like Broly that has the vendetta. Like, this is where like the good part of like the actual story comes in, where it's like Broly's not a bad dude.
No.
It's his dad who is imposing his like will and his vision and what he wants onto Broly because Broly's just hella strong.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Which is like a common theme in American society or in any kind of society where the dad's like, I didn't become a football player. Hey, guess what, son? You're gonna become a football player.
Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna love it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like the dynamic a lot too. And again, like, I think there's like, it's not like incredible depth. Okay, we're not talking like Oscar worthy or anything like that, but it gives more depth to the character of Broly than we've ever had before.
Yeah,
which is awesome. I like it a lot because I feel like he is a player that you could count on now later. Like, when they step it up to like I don't know how they're gonna do it because like Super's a lot farther than the Tournament of Power. They've done like Moro, and then they also have some other dude now. Like, I think they already beat Moro and they're on to somebody else or whatever. But it's nice to know that like Broly's now in the picture of like, if they ever get overpowered, it'd be a hype ass fucking moment to see like Legendary Super Saiyan come out and fuck some shit up real quick, you know? Because like at the end of the movie, to skip ahead really quickly, after everything's resolved, and like even before during the fight, usual Goku, it's like, hey, what's up, you genocidal maniac? You want to be my friend? Like, let's just hang out and fight together. Like, fucking crackhead in real life. Fucking ridiculously stupid. But in Dragon Ball, it works great. But yeah, Goku's always just trying to fucking befriend these fucking genocidal maniacs.
It's so funny, like, the difference between, like, Jujutsu Kaisen and this. And Jujutsu Kaisen, like, Yuta's like, man, I just want to be accepted. Like, I just want to be wanted by someone, you know? Like, I just want to get rid of this curse, you know? It's, like, really looming over me. And Goku's like, hey, man, I just want to fight, dude.
I just want to fight somebody
wow,
stronger
you're strong,
than me.
bro?
Let's fight.
Hey, let's fight, dude, and then we'll be friends after.
So good.
And Vegeta's like, man, I can't let him get stronger than me.
Literally, it's great too because like Vegeta's character's really like, oh, Kakarot's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But I can't let him get stronger than me.
But he's fucking strong as fuck.
Yes, I gotta fucking catch up. God damn it, it's so good. I love it. Dragon Ball is so fucking simple and it works so fucking well. And I don't give a damn. It's always gonna work that well. Shit's great. I love it.
I love, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like the characters of Goku and Vegeta are like, you know, you can't have both, right?
Yeah.
Goku's hella dumb, but he's hella strong.
Yeah.
Vegeta's like pretty fucking smart.
Yeah.
And he's not as strong as Goku.
No,
you know, you can't have it all.
No, definitely not. And what's awesome is that like it's the most It's the most perfect, like, I said Superman earlier is a joke, but it's kind of true. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Superman is so stupidly strong that he can afford to be friendly to everybody.
Yeah, he can afford to be just pretty dumb.
Yeah, which is the same case with Goku. Like, he's so dummy strong, he can fight you, blow a hole in the earth, and be like, wow, that was a pretty good round, dude. Like, maybe we should go spar somewhere else.
I will say that Goku is also a legit martial artist.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like,
He knows his shit.
he's not dumb in that aspect.
No.
Like,
Goku is.
But he's dumb.
Goku is dumb, but quite literally because he's had his fucking head smacked around his entire life since he was a baby. Like, they literally broke his Saiyan programming when he fucking smacked into Earth the first time. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, no, but fucking, he is dumb. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying Goku's dumb. Goku's straight dumb.
He's stupid.
But he's also dummy powerful, which is hilariously awesome.
Vegeta was like, hey, you had to have kissed Chi-Chi. And he's like, what the fuck is that, dude?
I know, ridiculous. Oh my God, that shit's so funny. Yeah. Like, way further along, too. Like, this is after Gohan and Goten are both born.
You've had 2 kids with her.
What's kissing? He's like, what is that you just did with your mouth? You know what I will say? Fucking random sidebar about both these movies. There was a little bit of a disappointment. I bought them both last night on YouTube. Or not bought them, but I rented them. You cannot change the fucking language on the stock version. So I bought the first ones that I saw, and they were both the English dubs, which with Dragon Ball was fine.
Yeah.
With Jujutsu Kaisen, it was not. Yeah. With Dragon Ball, I'm used to it because we talked about this, right? Like, that's what I grew up on with Cartoon Network. So it's fine. I have love in my heart for that cast.
And I think the English dub of Dragon Ball does have, like...
It has its own merits.
It has its own merits. Like, it's still really good. Like,
Definitely.
It's not like... It's not terrible.
It's not like other animes. Other animes do suffer from the English dub.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen was, like, so bad. Like, I still really liked it, right? So obviously it's good enough to watch through an English dub. But holy fuck, man. Sometimes some of these lines are really bad in English.
It's corny,
they're
bro.
Just,
You're just like, what the
they're
fuck
way better if you just listen to them in Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better. Like, I know I'm still reading the corny dialogue, but I didn't hear, this is the limit of my power. Like, don't say that shit. Like, oh, God. Yeah. But the intro to this movie, the whole, like, first half of it, is honestly really what blew me away. Like, I have seen a pretty good chunk of the fight scenes on YouTube already in clips. Granted, I do think they're a lot better within the context of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's heightened, obviously, when you have the stakes at play. But I was really, truly blown away, like, by the whole first half of the movie. The fact that, like, it did very much feel like Zack Snyder Man of Steel, where, like, the whole first, like, 30 minutes of this movie is dedicated to the setup and payoff of this, like, long standing turmoil between, like, the Saiyans and Frieza, right? But to have a canon, because there's been so many, right? We've had 3 fucking Broly movies. I think there's been a Bardock episode arc and a Bardock movie.
Yeah, where Bardock, like, goes back in time.
And yeah, like, there's been so much around this thing. It's nice to finally have a canon version of it that's actually good. Like, actually has good consequences and payoffs.
Dude, the animation is so crazy.
Through the fucking roof.
And on that scene, like, I will say, like, the rest of the movie does have more of a simplistic animation style to it.
Yeah.
Just like the way it's drawn and
it looks like a
that.
higher quality version of the show. The regular show, I think.
Well, it's less detailed than the show. It's less, but it's more detailed.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, the show, like, has more shading to it, where it makes it more, like, cartoony.
Yeah.
Whereas this looks more like traditional anime.
It feels like simple shapes, too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah,
like, not a lot of shading, so they can do more with, like, the fighting.
Yeah, because they don't have to fucking fix...
I gotta draw the shading on his fucking bicep.
If he swings like this, then his armpit has a fucking cast of shadow. So, yeah, definitely, yeah.
But, like, the opening shot, like the opening sequence looks fucking ridiculous.
Really good,
bro.
yeah. No,
stupid.
Everything on Planet Vegeta is stellar for sure. Like, and again, it's also just cool to see, like, I really like Bardock. I don't know what, like, the general consensus is on Bardock as a character.
I think he's dope.
Bardock's fucking cool, man. He's a badass.
He's just a serious version of Goku.
That's it. Yeah, and it's pretty fucking dope.
It's like when Goku gets like turns Super Saiyan and just like gets mad.
Yeah.
Like that's just Bardock all the time.
Yes, definitely.
You know.
I will say this. I personally could have done with taking a little bit out of the Broly versus Goku and Vegeta fight, so that I could see in high quality Bardock charging Frieza again.
Oh yeah.
Because I was a little bit bummed that like you get all the setup of them, like, you know, him and I forget her name, I'm sorry, but Goku's mom.
Gine,
yeah. Sending them off.
I'm with the names today,
You do.
bro.
You got
I'm
them all, bro. You got them all.
Today, bro.
When I like that sequence, right, of like Bardock coming home and like telling his other random Saiyan partner, like, hey, we're probably gonna fucking die tonight, bro. Like, why the fuck else would he call us here? Good shit, like good premonition, especially because we as the fans already know that that's gonna happen.
That one dude's like, what if there's just a big ass planet that's hell of a fort that has like a big ass fortress and we need all of us to go and fucking take it over?
Stupid. What an idiot, bro. You're fucking dumbass. You should have died. But yeah, fucking that part is great. Like, and again, seeing him and Gine like actually fucking boot young Kakarot off and shit. Like, and also too, having Bardock be like an actual loving father. Because I feel like in the old ones, I don't remember exactly how it happens, but I don't think it's Bardock making the conscious decision.
I don't remember.
To be like, I could be very, very wrong because I'm not brushed up on my Dragon Ball history, but I don't remember Bardock ever making a conscious decision to save Goku. I think in the old one, Goku just got sent off as part of regular Saiyan protocol to like grow up on Earth and take over it one day.
Well, like Gina even has that line where she's like, it's not like a typical Saiyan man to like give a shit about his kids.
Yeah. So I also like that because that's a new layer of like, okay, he actually gave a fuck about the kids. Like even Raditz, right? Like he gets home, he's like, where's Raditz? Blah, 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 blah. Like, which again, also a great fucking little sequence to see baby Raditz, baby Vegeta, and Nappa with hair still. That was fucking great. I love that. That's just a treat. But yeah, I wish we would have got that sequence and then we would have still, because that shit's legendary.
Oh yeah.
It's good both times. There's like a version of it that the regular one where the classic, right? And then there's one that I've seen which I think is only from video games where Bardock learns how to go Super Saiyan before that shit happens and then he actually beats Frieza and like a what if thing or whatever. Yeah. Both versions are fucking kick ass. That's one of the coolest fucking standoffs in Dragon Ball. So I would have been very down to see that because I will say, as fucking awesomely cool looking as all of the fighting was in the whole last sequence, I did get a little tired. There's a bit in there where I'm like, holy fuck, they're fighting for a long fucking time.
They're just fucking fighting, bro.
It's like, thankfully it's in the middle. It starts really good and it continues really good for a long time. And then there's like a little bit in the middle where I'm like, holy shit. It's like right after Goku and Vegeta get their shit wrecked and teleport back to Piccolo. And then like, it's funny, but like there's like a whole sequence where like Broly's just fucking wailing on Frieza, like while they like keep trying to fuse. And at that point, there was a bit where I was like, oh my God, like how fucking long is this fight going to go? Like this has been literally 30 minutes of screen time fighting. Like this is crazy. And then thankfully it picks up again when he comes back as Gogeta, obviously. But like
so sick.
But there is a little bit in there where like I lose gas. I'm like, holy fuck, man, there's a lot. Yeah.
But what I liked, Broly's first entrance was fucking so sick. When I forgot what those two characters' names are.
I don't remember their names, but I think it was like Chila and something.
Yeah. When they get to the planet Vampa and then there's the fucking
the big monster pops down on them.
The big ass fucking monster and they're like and fucking Paragus is like Broly and then just freaking just comes through
just knees it in the fucking face, dude. Yeah, that shit's epic,
was
bro.
Fucking awesome. And then just like, hey, what's up?
Hey,
I'm Broly.
Yeah, I love it. He's awesome.
I'm Broly.
Yeah, he's great too. I love him as a character this time around. Like much more than ever before. He's like he's like a real dude. He actually like is a real person. Like I love the whole little thing behind his little like pelt.
Yeah. Ba's ear.
Yeah, Ba's ear, yeah. Cause like somebody tries to touch it earlier, right? Like you need to take off this shit and he's like, don't fucking touch my shit. And then, yeah, you find out later that was like his only fucking friend, bro. Was this gigantic monster that he used to train with. And then, like...
Chile.
And,
I have no clue.
That one makes sense to me, though, because, like, she's not an actual Saiyan, but, like, all the Saiyans' names are just puns on vegetables
names.
Yeah. So the Chile one is good. I like that.
Was it Limo?
Maybe it was him. Could have been.
I think so. It sounds like it.
Limo and Chile. That sounds right. Yeah. They were good. They were like a fun little side duo. And like, I think some much needed, like, I'm not going to say grounding because it's not grounded at all. This shit is fucking ridiculous. No. But like within the world of Dragon Ball, it's a nice grounding to have characters who can still be awestruck by the things that like they do. Because like we're used to it, right? Like granted, the choreography is great and it looks awesome. I'm not saying that this battle looks like any other that I've seen before. It's like miles ahead of anything else I've ever seen, honestly. At least in Dragon Ball. But like the fact that there's characters on screen who are still like, how are they doing this? I think helps, you know? Because like everybody else is like literally Beerus and Whis are just like chilling the whole fucking movie. Yeah. Bulma's just kind of hanging out like, can you guys get the Dragon Balls back so I can look younger? Like nobody gives a shit, right? Because it's just like another fucking Tuesday. So to have people, even Frieza is like, this is fucking business as usual, man.
Yeah, it is. It's also nice like having characters that are like part of the Frieza Force, but are like taken out of like the whole like, oh yeah, let's fucking take over everything and shit like that. Definitely. They just like Chile's is there because she stole a fucking like a patrol car fucking something like that. So and then the Limo is just like an old dude that's just like trying to like get by, you know. So they're just there. They're not bought into like, hey, we gotta fucking destroy everything. They're just like, hey, we're trying to get by. We're trying to survive. Money, bro. Yeah. And then Broly comes through and they're like, hey man, like you're not a bad guy.
No,
and like
they have a little bit of purpose after that, like something to like strive for and everything, and I like it a lot. The battle sequences, like I said before in this, are ridiculous, like absolutely insanely fucking cool. Probably the coolest shit,
dude. Like the opening, like Broly versus Vegeta was fucking
awesome
so
enough
sick
already. Like it's like, because what's great too, I love the way that the choreography of it is beautiful, but the stakes are also really good because like you have Vegeta versus Broly in their base form first. Yeah. And then Broly starts to overpower him, so he has to go Super Saiyan. And then he's still holding his own in his base form. And then even Goku's like, hey, he's kicking the shit out of you in his base form. and then he goes Super Saiyan God.
Which we'd never seen before.
No, Vegeta hadn't done it yet on screen, right? Yeah. It only been, he skipped from 2 or like Majin Vegeta, I guess, just to like
Super Saiyan God. Yeah, he's like, I don't need to go Super Saiyan 3. I'll just go Super Saiyan Blue.
He would look stupid. Super Saiyan 3 is a controversial look for me. I do like it because it holds a special place in my heart from when I saw it as a kid. I watched Goku shit his pants for 10 minutes before his hair grew out 1,000,000 times when I was younger, but it's not my favorite design.
Well, it's also like it's just become like they don't need it anymore.
No, it doesn't
like they just go Super Saiyan, and when Super Saiyan doesn't work,
Super Saiyan doesn't even matter.
If Super Saiyan 2 doesn't work, it's like, okay, we'll just go Super Saiyan God, because it's like, why am I gonna go to 3 when I could just go to 4? Essentially,
aside from like nostalgia, so that you can still see the gold hair, I even question the need for Super Saiyan. They don't need Super Saiyan anymore. Like, with Goku, I understand. Because Goku's the weird battle-hungry idiot that he is, so he's going to go through like each of his forms to figure out really how strong somebody is. But for anybody else who's just trying to take somebody out, just fucking go your highest form and blast a hole in them. Like, why are you fucking around? You know what I mean? I get it. It's for the intensity of the fights.
It's the warrior spirit.
I know, I get it. The warrior spirit. I get it. I understand. They're a race of warriors, but I'm just
gonna fight each other.
Just practically speaking,
they're like Spartans, bro.
They really are. 100%. They are Spartans. Yeah, but I'm just saying, practically speaking, it's super easy for Vegeta to just go blue right away and like blast a hole in Broly's chest.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but the elevation of the fight is really good because Broly holds his own for a very long time before he has to go Super Saiyan, and it's like. He like gets like what, like, do they call like the Ozaru form or something like that? What is it even? Because he doesn't go full Ozaru, But there's like a stage in between his base form and when he goes legendary Super Saiyan at the end. And his dad explains it a little bit. He's like, he's tapped into the power of the great ape, but he's still small.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is using the power of the great ape without having to actually go into like the great ape form.
So he still stays fast. And So because that's also really cool. Like,
so he has like his base form, and then he has like an ascended form of that.
Yeah.
And then he has that like Uzara form, and then he has like an ascended form of that.
Yeah.
And then he finally turns
legendary
Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Well,
he goes Super Saiyan.
He goes Super Saiyan, and then he finally goes legendary.
Yeah. Because the other thing too is that like Broly's Super Saiyan has never looked regular. He always has like the green tint in there. Even when he goes regular Super Saiyan, he doesn't go like regular blonde. It's like, it's still the green.
It's a dirty blonde.
It's a dirty blonde. Yeah, it's a sewer blonde, bro. Fucking got some green in there, dog. But yeah, man, like that shit's some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Like, honestly, those are the kind of fight scenes that I live for, bro. That's why Final Fantasy is easily in my top 3 this year, because it gives you fights on that scale of like your punches and your blocks like shatter mountains and shit. Like, I love that. The fact that they're like, there's literally a point where they punch each other so hard they fucking break out of reality. Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous, but I love that shit. Like, that stuff is so good to me because it's like, yeah, it's not the most creative way to deal with your problem, but it's hypey as fuck, bro.
But it's fucking awesome.
Hypey as fuck. When you see like power levels just constantly edging each other out, dude, like you can't not get pulled into that shit. It's good. I like it. It's classic.
Classic Dragon Ball.
Classic Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Shit was just fucking crazy. Like back to like the animation, like especially in like the fight scenes, like
they look so good, so crisp.
When Vegeta goes Super Saiyan and he has that just like, and he's standing and he does this fucking stare, like that shit looks crazy.
Made me scared, bro. And that
shit looks so cool.
The other thing too that I love is like, I watched that one last night pretty late, so I watched it with headphones. So granted, I might have just been missing this, but like, I haven't heard the Super Saiyan sound in so long, like that. When they're like fully powered, you know, like that shit was like nostalgia in my juice in my brain, bro. I was like, oh, that's juicy.
I like that, and even like the sound design on like when you first meet Frieza, like in the beginning, and then he like steps down, and the specific sound that they make when they step,
like,
it's fucking sick,
it's so classic,
dude.
Bro. It sounds so good,
awesome.
I know, I love.
But yeah, the animation of the fights was fucking crazy. Yeah. I loved all the different fucking colors. Like everything felt awesome. Like
very
seeing
vibrant.
Vegeta go Super Saiyan God was crazy,
and he does it so cool too.
Yeah, like, he's just like catches the punch.
Yeah,
and he's just like, all right, I'm fucking done, and just
fucking sends him through like 10 mountains and shit, dude. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
He's just like, I'm done with you, and he's just like, I like when he does like the little air fucking like
air slaps. He's not even like shooting the full big bangs, bro. Like he's just like, yeah, it's fucking smacking him around with it.
Yeah, all the colors just look like so vibrant.
They do.
They're just like
so
intense. So striking. Like
it's
all
beautiful.
the scenes are so striking, and I think that's just like, I mean, that's what you want to see from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
like you want to see some shit that's gonna blow your fucking mind.
Yeah, that's what they're good at. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Like there are good story elements to the show and the characters in Z. As far as I know, I haven't watched Super, so like I don't know how well they do with that stuff. But like, I don't think Dragon Ball is like, it is basic, but it's also good. It's as good as basic as you can get.
Yeah,
I think like it's peak basic. You know what I mean?
It's simple. It's not trying too hard.
No, but it's also the blueprint for like fucking everything else, right? So like, and it did it so good, like originally, but like. That shit just works for me forever. Like, I don't know if it's just because we watched it when we were kids, so it's the nostalgia factor, but like, or maybe it's just because we're dudes and there's something so invigoratingly cool about like, nah, I'm going to get stronger and punch you harder than you punch me,
I think that's it. Like,
yeah.
If you talk to anybody,
bro.
I think if you talk to anybody that likes Dragon Ball, I think that's the thing that everyone ties into is just the fucking like, we're just gonna get stronger and beat the.
I'm gonna scream louder and longer than you, so I can punch the fuck out of you, bro.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. Dude, I love it. I can't. I'll never get tired of that shit. Honestly.
Yeah, and then when fucking Broly shoots that giant fucking green orb.
That one's classic too. I like that they brought back his energy blasts, like the green ones that do like the weird like. It's almost like all the light in the picture gets like sucked into the fucking energy orb and then it shoots out. Like, oh, it's so intense, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his fight with Goku's obviously super fucking sick, and Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue. I like when freaking Broly's just shooting down all those fucking green energy beams, and Goku's just like,
yeah, trying to dodge them on. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
He's
epic, bro. And also too, like again, I do like watching even Dragon Ball with subs rather than the dub, but I love Sean Schemmel. So hearing that classic, like that high pitched Goku, you know, that he always does.
I feel you.
Yeah,
but I like the.
Me too. It's way better. Yeah, I agree. Because it's I forget her name, but she's literally done Goku forever since Dragon Ball, and this is just never changed.
Her name's Goku.
Her name is Goku. Yeah, she's never changed. The voice actor that's played her in Japanese. I agree, 1,000 times better on everything. The power ups, the emotion, anything. Yeah, it is way better. But again, there's
even fucking Vegeta.
Yeah, I love it. It's good shit, dude. It's good shit, bro. But there is something classic about those fucking Cartoon Network voice actors that I remember.
Yeah,
of like of the old days. Still, they do still hit every once in a while. But what makes me sad is that like the jokes in Dragon Ball to me are actually written pretty well. I think they're pretty funny. I laugh at Dragon Ball a lot when it's in Japanese. It's just translated very, very poorly.
Yeah.
And conveyed very, very poorly when they do. Like, the Japanese voice actor for Goku's, and when she's playing Goku stupid, it's charming and it's endearing, and you love him for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when Sean Schemmel is being Goku and he's being stupid, he's fucking annoying and he's just dumb. It's like
this fucking guy.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's like night and day.
Huh? What did you mean, Vegeta?
Oh,
when he does
God,
that.
I hate that kind of shit. Like, those are the ones that make me cringe. Those are the ones I do not like. Yeah, but he's got a good scream, though. He's got a good yell. When he's out there fucking fighting, he sounds good. It's fine.
I like in the beginning when Whis is like, so Goku, like you just fought in this super crazy tournament where you had all these people. Why do you want to keep fighting?
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, I just finally realized like there's just way more strong fucking people out there. We just got to be ready. And I like when he does this little like, I'm fired. And he just fucking powers up super quick.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking.
Yeah, that is good.
And I like the animation on like his hair just fucking like kind of like
the wave. Yeah.
That shit's just fucking, it's just fucking sick.
You reminded me of one that I fucking wanted to mention that I fucking laughed so hard was because there's like little cameos of the Frieza Force. Like main players, especially from like the Frieza saga that you see.
The Ginyu squad.
I laughed so hard when they come down and hit their poses, but it's like so nonchalant. You just see it from the back really quick, and then they like cut away, and it's nothing more. You're like, they did the thing.
And like the music is so like, like imposing and like, and they're just like.
Dude, oh God, I love it. Like the Ginyu Force poses are already so stupid. To see them done like so throwaway like that is so good. I loved it so much.
Everyone wanted to see that.
Yeah, of course. It's classic shit.
You've always got to see it from the front, but this time we got to see it from the back.
Yeah. Fucking some of them are like bent over like this and shit, like all fucking stupid, dude. It looks hilarious.
But we need to get to the sickest part of the movie when fucking Vegeta and Goku fuse, and they turn into fucking Gogeta.
Now for the first time in canon, right?
I believe so. Unless is that movie with Janemba not canon?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure all of the old Dragon Ball movies, I know it's a crazy name. I think, if I'm not mistaken, every Dragon Ball movie prior to Battle of the Gods is not canon.
Not canon. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Super and onwards.
I think this is the first time they've done fusion.
This kind of fusion, because obviously they did the Potara earrings and everything, but yeah, that shit was epic, dude. I liked that they also brought back the failed fusions.
Yeah,
it was like a little bit like stupid, like I said, because I was like, damn, they really just fucking use this as an excuse to let Frieza get mopped for an hour because they fuck it up twice and they have to wait 30 minutes.
Well, just got beat up for an hour.
An hour. Broly just fucking took him to school for the whole time. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's funny to see the failed ones back. They have like the bigger one who's like all goofy, and then they have the little like old man skinny one and shit. Like that was good.
And like Piccolo just being like, your angle that you were posed at was not correct.
Yeah. Again, like just dumb Dragon Ball humor. That's like these.
Your fingers were slightly off.
Your fingers, and he's like so serious about it, like so disappointed. I'm like,
do it
fools.
again.
Yeah,
do it again.
Yeah, I love it. Pose these usual shit. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Piccolo, do you have any senzu beans? No.
No, I know. I did like though that they were like honest and upfront about the power levels in this one, because I feel like sometimes in Dragon Ball they like bring people into the fight that don't fucking matter, right? Like, no offense, but like, why is Krillin go anywhere with them at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I liked that in this one, Goku's like, or Piccolo checks in, he's like, what's going on? And he's like, blah, 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 Broly's kicking the shit out of me. He's like, yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm just getting the fucking way out there.
Yeah,
like,
so I'm just going to stay over here where I'm safe.
Yeah, I was down with it, because I was like, that's a smart move. Like, you would get in the fucking way, dude.
And Goku's like, yeah, just stay there, just in case we need to, like, go to you real quick. Yeah, so I like that.
Yeah. And it is a good little setup for later, too. Because, like, I was under the impression that they knew, or that I was under the impression that Goku knew the fusion, because he does, right? And that he was just going to teach it to Vegeta on the battlefield, and they were going to do it. I was not expecting the whole little joke.
Okay, we're just going to do it real quick.
Yeah. I really did. I was like, I did like, again, it's goofy Dragon Ball humor, and it's overplayed, and it's ridiculous, and it's corny, but I still love it. Of like the whole thing of Vegeta, like, I'm gonna look so stupid, I can't do this.
Well, it's so fitting for his character. Yeah. Like, it's dumb,
it's
but
the
like,
same pride though.
But it's Vegeta. Like, he would not, like, if he didn't do that, that would be out of character. If he's just like, yeah, let's fucking do it, I'd be like, okay, let's hold on here. He
would rather go down looking like a badass than
looking like a fool,
than win looking like a fool. Yeah, it is classic Vegeta for sure. Yeah, but no, they pull off the fucking diffusion dance finally. And it is pretty epic. Yeah, I'm also glad too, because again, the only clips that I saw was like once they're like full on in the fight. So Vegeta's not Vegeta. Gogeta's already gone Super Saiyan Blue. I like that they kept him with the black hair, because I think base form Gogeta looks fucking cool.
Yeah,
I do like when he goes Super Saiyan and everything. That's awesome, but he looks fucking sick with just the black hair, dude. Yeah,
I love his outfit, dude, because it's just
a
like,
fucking vest,
just
bro.
Puffy pants, and a vest. And he's like, yeah, that's just how I'm gonna fight.
He's like, what's good, bro? He's got the little fucking wrist. Fucking,
he's like, oh, we gotta fight.
Sweatbands on.
Let me put on my vest real quick. And let me put on my fucking MC Hammer pants.
Yeah, dude.
And we're gonna kick some ass.
Gonna wreck some shit. Yeah.
And I like how Piccolo's like, oh, what am I gonna call you? And he's like, And he's like, that doesn't matter. Like, just get it. He's like, no.
Let me think about this.
It would be way more cooler if I had a name. So let's think about this real quick.
He's all Faguto. He's like, Gogito. Like, or he says all kinds of stupid ones first.
And he's like, I'm going to be Gogeta. Yeah. He's like, all right, cool. And then I like when we come back and we see the split second of like a fight between Whis and freaking Broly.
Yeah.
Because he just goes after Broly after just like, he's like, all right, I'm just done with Frieza. Yeah. And then Whis is just like, oh.
Yeah.
Just like,
good try, little buddy. Yeah. Like it's doing anything. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
That show is awesome. And then fucking Gogeta comes in and Frieza's like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, haha. I'm Gogeta, the fusion of Vegeta and Goku. Yeah. Not only is he's like, my power is not just stacked on top of each other, but
it's magnified. By the way,
it's completely magnified.
Yeah, that's not fair. He's like, yeah, it's not. It's fucking plot writing. But
he's like, yeah, you've been gone for a while. Yeah, so, we learned some things.
I love that. I like all those references too, of like just to the history of the fucking. I think like 30, 40 years at this point. I'm pretty sure the manga of like the original shit started in like the 80s. But like, yeah, just like referencing the long-standing shit of like, yeah, you've been dead for a while, motherfucker. We learned a lot of different MacGuffins since you've been gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Since you've been gone.
I'm just fused for the first time.
My name is Gogeta.
Yeah.
Next to you. I just fused.
Fuse with my dude. But you just like
Broly got what he wants.
Yeah, but yeah, when there's some crazy fucking moves when Gogeta gets in the fight. Like,
I like when he does this fucking like Broly comes in for a punch and he like dodges and he does this little like
Yeah, the
And
like
then he just,
redirection, bro.
and then
Yeah.
just fucking,
Bruh,
with
yeah.
his elbow.
Dude,
So
my
sick.
my favorite one is like there's this one that he has where like Broly comes over on top of him and they're like flying there like right by the ground and he like punches him this way and then like corkscrew flips and like kicks the fuck out of him and just like launches it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there was so many moments, dude, where I was like, fuck, I wish I saw this in theaters with a bunch of Dragon Ball fans because I could only imagine the hype.
People are going insane.
Just like, because the moves are crazy. Like the some of the moves that Gogeta particularly pulls off are fucking nuggets. Like there's some cool ass shit, dude. And he had all his classic moves too, which was cool. Like from the old Janemba movie and stuff.
He had his little fucking.
Yeah, I think it's called like the Soul Reaper or some stupid shit like that. I don't know. That's what I remember from the games. That's what it was called, and it was probably stupid hard to do, unless it was Tenkaichi. Those ones are not so hard. But anyway, sorry. I loved those games. But yeah, the moves are crazy. The fights are on the epic level of like world destroying awesomeness. Like again, they're like just changing the environment with their moves and stuff. It's really cool. Traveling the multiverse with their punches and stuff. I loved it.
Yeah, when Gogeta finally turns like Super Saiyan Blue, I love that like Gogeta is just like beating the fuck out of him the whole time.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like Broly starts to get a little upper hand, he's like, "All right, let's just power up." And
Yeah,
just
he's like,
powers
let's
up.
just finish it up. Yeah.
It's just, dude, like it's just so sick at the end. Like he does a move where he fucking like Broly like blasts this beam at him.
Yeah.
And it, like explodes, and Gogeta just like flips over it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I'm over here," and just fucking
Yeah, it's so
fucking
good.
blast him.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sick. And then at the end when they're just like like Superman type shit, just fucking beating the fuck out of him. Oh, let me go fly over you. Let me just go beat the fuck out of you some more.
It's good shit, yeah.
And then when he sets up for that last fucking comment, dude,
that one was nasty. The music is so
sick.
epic.
And then Whis is like, I think the fight is coming to a big conclusion.
Yeah, the fucking bah, bah, bah,
and he does it like
bah.
so fucking slow. Oh, dude.
And it looks good too. Like the like they spent the most money on that bit right there. Like you could see the fucking curves of every shot. You could see like the fucking shadow of his fingernails and shit on those shots. It's crazy.
But it doesn't hit.
No, true, it doesn't, which is a good thing overall, I think.
Yeah.
Like I am happy that Broly lived.
Yeah, but it's
At the
just
end of
sad
the
that a Kamehameha of that caliber,
doesn't hit.
that looked that cool, just didn't hit.
Yeah. If anything, I feel like they could have, because like, okay, Gogeta's strong enough with Goku and Vegeta. That is easily strong enough to pull off a really cool move that won't kill somebody if they don't want it to. So they could have just been like Goku, because like Goku, in my mind, kind of fucking takes over that transformation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like in the old movie, they did a better job of blending the voices so that it sounded like both of them, and then they did a better job of blending the moves. So it was like the Big Bang Kamehamehas and shit.
Yeah.
It's just straight up Goku.
Yeah.
I'm convinced Goku's so strong he just takes over the Gogeta personality.
Even the way the fight progresses, and
Yeah.
like where you were saying how like Goku will like he'll start at his base form,
Yeah.
and then he'll kind of power up a little
Yeah.
bit. Let me power up a little bit more. All right, let me just power.
It's just Goku. It's just like it sounds like Goku. You can barely hear the Vegeta voice underneath, and they don't even do any like blend moves. It's just the Gogeta ones and then Kamehamehas, and that's it. But it would have been cool. I could have seen it where like Goku and Vegeta are like, well, we don't want to kill this guy. Let's just Kamehameha him to another planet. And then it's like the one where it like curves, and it like shoots him into space or some shit. They've done that before. So like they could have done that. But again, I'm glad he survived. He probably wouldn't have survived that shit.
No, he was gonna die.
They might have fucking blown up the world, bro. Like if that shit hit Broly, it fucking would have smashed some shit for sure.
Broly was gonna die for sure.
Yeah.
He was getting the shit beat out of him.
Once Gogeta came in, there was no fucking.
He even like fully powered up, and then Gogeta's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you."
It still doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He fully powers up and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that too."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good shit.
I want to see, because you haven't. I want to see like Gogeta versus Jiren. I want to see that shit.
I think that's also like a floor mop right there. Because this happens after Tournament of Power, right? So I think even Broly's stronger than Jiren, no?
Yeah, I don't know, because
I mean,
it's
maybe
like,
not right away, but like,
Jiren also has like a form of like his own form of like mastered ultra instinct.
Oh, okay, like from his universe.
Well, it's
That's
like
his red shit, right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
like if you kind of look at the auras of like when Goku's.
They're super similar.
They're super
it's just
similar.
a different colors.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
So I don't know if Ultra Instinct is like the thing.
Yeah,
which I'm glad that they didn't put in this movie.
Me too.
You kind of see a flash of it
when he's going blue.
Yeah, when he's going blue,
it looks good. You also see flashes of the green, which was interesting to me.
I think that's just because I think Broly did like a reverse like key block on like because you know how like Goku does like a random Goku power that we've never seen before.
Just holds him in place with the God power. That was cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's cool, but we're just never gonna see it ever again.
I hope it comes back because like
we're not gonna see it ever again.
But it is good for this because it gives you like the Goku's just way stronger than everybody else. Yeah,
and I was just like, where this will learn this
shit from? Because it seems like he's struggling in the fight up until that point. And then he's just like, "Hey, I need to talk to you for a second."
Yeah,
yeah.
You're not that bad.
Yeah, it is.
You're not a bad guy.
Nah, yeah.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Exactly. Yeah, but
so sick.
Yeah, it's crazy good. I really liked it.
It's crazy fucking good.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah, I would say for Dragon Ball shit, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, easily. Like there's definitely a lot of points, probably like a good 1.5 to 2 points that comes from like just pure awesomeness and like my personal love for this type of pure awesomeness. But it's my review, so fuck you. It's a 10 out of 10. I'm not going for an objective review here. I'm telling you what I thought about it.
No, like it's not like movie wise, it's not a great movie.
No, it's not even a good movie.
But it's
way
Dragon
too much
Ball.
fighting
But it's
in
great Dragon Ball.
It's great
top tier Dragon Ball.
100%.
Like
100%.
You come to Dragon Ball to see the fights. You come to see people power up. You come to see some fucking blast.
Yeah. It gives you all that.
You get
and more too. Mm-hmm. You get better characters than you ever did with some of these like long-standing people, and you get better story for them as well.
Did you ever see like the trailer for this when it was like coming out? Because I remember like seeing the trailer and like the trailer that initially came out. Like, remember when they're first fighting and Goku goes to Broly? He's like, "Hey, it's your turn to fight me now." And he like takes off like the trailer was just like you just see him fucking like take it off and he does his little like
getting warmed up
and then he does like some fucking like fucking karate shit and then you just see you didn't know if it was Broly in the movie. You just saw this dude fucking like powering up and everyone was like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck is that?" Some people thought it was like a different Saiyan. Some people thought it was Broly. It was fucking nuts.
That's cool. That's some good hype right there for sure.
Yeah. And I like seeing it like in the fucking. I like seeing like that part in the movie because you're like, that was the trailer.
Yeah, I've seen that clip for a really long time, and honestly, I thought it was fan animated up until I finally saw it in the movie, and I was like, oh shit, there it is. Yeah, and it is a good little. In general, that's a good Goku like GIF, however you fucking pronounce it, of him just fucking warming up real quick, fucking tensing up, getting his shoulders and everything, cracking his neck. It's good.
He's like, "Hey, I know you're powered up right now, but I'm just gonna fight you in my regular form. I don't even care."
He's like, "Yeah, you're powering up, like screaming for 5 minutes." He's like, "I'm just about to go into a boxing match. It's no big deal."
He's like, "Let me just stretch real quick."
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of in between Dragon Ball. When obviously you wait for the big arcs and you like want to see your heroes tested and everything like that. But once they overcome those adversaries, it's so fun to see them just have fun with like how stupidly strong they are after that for a little while before the next big bad guy comes along. Like, it's hilarious. Like, I remember one of the funniest things to me in like the earlier parts of Super is Goku being a farmer, but having like acres of land that he's just like mowing in like 2 fucking seconds and shit. Like I love like that stupid shit like that is hilarious. Like I love that type of stuff. It's good.
Yeah, you're just insanely strong. Of course you're gonna mow your lawn in fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like fucking miles of lawn worth of lawn and shit. Yeah, it's good. I love it.
Yeah, guys, if you have not watched Dragon Ball Super Broly, what the fuck are you doing? It came out in 2018. That was fucking 5 years ago.
I was very surprised. I did not know it was that old because I didn't watch.
COVID fucked everything up, man.
It did, yeah, I know. I didn't watch Resurrection F either, but I have seen Battle of the Gods.
Resurrection F, that's the one with when Frieza
first comes back.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Okay, so I was confused about that because like the clips I've seen of Resurrection F, they're like surprised that Frieza's back, but doesn't Goku bring him back specifically for the tournament, of like the first tournament of power, or the second one?
I think that was, in Resurrection F, they kill him,
Oh.
And then they bring him back after.
Okay,
that.
after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was confused for a second there. I was like, wait, what happened there?
Because he comes back and he's just like super crazy powerful. And
yeah,
like,
he has the
fuck?
golden form now, right?
Yeah.
I've seen, I don't know if it was just fan art or if it was actual like theories or something like that, but I heard that at some point or another, Toriyama is planning to bring Frieza back in a black form.
Probably.
And that's like his ultimate, because like I like, as much as there are iconic villains outside of him, Frieza's the fucking best Dragon Ball villain.
He's like the Joker.
He's the Joker. And he like, I like that he's still around, especially with the dynamic that they have with him now. So if he hits a new power level that can rival like Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego and all that stuff like that, I'm fucking down for that. I'm down for Frieza to be like the apex predator again.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That'd be some cool shit.
Hell yeah. But yeah, anything else to say to the folks for episode 7D?
Yeah. That's it. Just that.
Yeah, guys, that was episode number 70. You know the deal. Go follow us on Instagram, on YouTube at TH4TV, TOHIGH4TV, and that's the number 4, as in the symbol. Draw it out, motherfuckers. Don't spell it out. Draw it out, don't spell it out. That's the new fucking tagline.
I like it. Draw it out, don't spell it out.
Hell yeah. But yeah, hit that notification bell on YouTube so you know when the episodes get posted. And that is 8 a.m. every motherfucking Friday. So you know what? So it's there for you in the morning. If you got Fridays off, you can start your Fridays with us. You know, if you don't have them off, you can watch us when you get off of work.
Or on your way to work.
Or on your way to work. Or on your fucking lunch.
Whatever you like.
Or, you know, if you're able to, you know, if you have yourself a little office with a little cubicle where you got a little multiple screen action going on and you don't got your boss like over your shoulder every fucking second.
Throw the video on.
Yeah, you know, do your work on one
Just
screen,
on the
throw the
side.
video on the other screen, you know.
We don't want to distract you, but we want to entertain you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to watch it on the screen, you can also go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Get it auditorially.
And we're there. And we're there for you guys.
I don't think that's a word.
We can make it a word.
Auditorially?
Yeah. Why not?
It
Why can't?
sounds real, but I don't think it is.
Sounds like a word. You can just make it a word.
Auditorially. All words are made up.
Auditorially. All words really are just made up.
Yeah.
You know?
I forget. I think that's a Thor line from one of the movies, but yeah. Somebody's like, that's a made up word. And he's like, all words are made up.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, that was episode number 70. Go subscribe to us on YouTube, you know, because that'd be pretty fucking awesome.
We
do
really
it.
are.
Just fucking do it, motherfuckers.
Do it, you
Or
won't.
else I'll be pissed.
Do it, you won't.
I'll be
I dare
fucking
you.
mad.
I dare you.
I'll be mad.
I dare you.
But yeah, guys, this was your host, tell me to bring out the whole ocean.
And this was your host. Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you later.